the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
I don't know, man. I'm in a food coma right now.
Food coma? Did you have too much to eat?
Yeah. I had this place picked out. They make this focaccia bread, chicken cutlet parm. Not chicken cutlet parm, sorry, chicken cutlet with eggplant. It's fantastic. His wife
sounds fantastic.
His wife, I think she marinates the chicken, and I want to say it's club soda or Sprite or something that opens up and she marinates it with this sauce. So all excited, go there, closed.
Oh.
So then, as my backup, because I was in the middle of rush hour, I just needed to get something quick, so I went and got Chick-fil-A.
Oh, what the hell? You went from
it was like a salt bomb.
What in the world? Why would you go from like Italian like delicious goodness to roll up to chippery people in the drive-through?
Yeah, that was all the way back. It was all the way back.
My goodness, that sounds awful.
It was horrible.
My hand's swelling up just thinking about it.
I'm paying for it right now.
Yeah, my hand's swelling up just thinking about all the salt in that thing.
I'm paying for it right now.
I ate at a place called it was really weird, right? Not the food, getting to the thing, right? Because we left at like 5:10, 5:15 to go eat dinner on the highway, and usually it's bumper to bumper traffic and stuff to get to the like 3 exits down the road. We got on the road, nobody, right? And then we get to the place, parking lot's empty, and I'm like, is there like a don't go out of your house warning or something? Like, what's happening right now? It was very confusing. I still don't understand it. Okay, we got back. We went there and back in a half hour. We drove there, ate, and came back in like 35 minutes. Right, just getting there would take 25 minutes. We did the whole thing anyway. It's called Fresh Kitchen. It's like a Chipotle, but it's healthy food.
Isn't Chipotle healthy food?
No. This is like literally healthy food compared to.
There's 6 things in the chamber, and there's 1 thing on the grill. They have chicken on the grill, and tomatoes, lettuce, and some beans, and some corn, and some salsa. That's not healthy.
Well, it's different. But it's the same type as like that. What do you call it? Not fast food, but it's like what do they call that? Like Chipotle type of.
What do you call food that you get on
the
go?
But it's not on the go. It's just like you go in a line, you stand in a line. So it's not sit down. It's not fast food. I forget what it's called. It's like in the middle.
There's a name for that?
There is a name for it. It's
not called fast food.
No, it's not called fast food. Yeah, quick serve. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's quick serve.
Quick serve is ice cream.
Well, then it's like an ice cream shop. But anyway, it's pretty good food. So that's what I had. What's going on, chat? Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way.
Catch kids' hands.
Hold it up to the camera real fast. Just want to. Yeah, look at that.
It's like
the Crypt Keeper.
It's the opposite of the Crypt Keeper. It's like a fat guy hand.
Well, no, the Crypt Keeper can't move. Your hand's so swollen that you're
all bone. How is that a good? How is that a good?
He's dead.
Comparison.
He doesn't move. He's stiff. Whatever. Anyway, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Arc Raiders. We're going to talk about Kingsmaker. We're going to talk about Microsoft. We're going to talk about Battlefield. We're going to be talking about. What else we got here? We got Microsoft. We got Battlefield. Well, no, I gotta go down the list here. We're gonna talk maybe a little bit about Nintendo, Destiny. We're talking about a little bit about Destiny again. We got Call of Duty Black Ops. We're going to talk about Dune Awakening. Skate, maybe Skate. EA.
Excited that Battlefield's coming out tomorrow? Anybody excited?
I mean, everyone's losing their mind right now, Sarge.
I mean,
losing their mind.
I got to be honest. I watched so many videos about all the guys who got it early and been playing early and how they're talking it up and everything. I'm like, I still don't care.
I telling Mr. Luke this earlier because we were playing.
I'm happy that it's better than the last 3.
Right.
I'm happy that at least
last two. Battlefield 1 was really good.
In a better direction.
So a guy I was watching on YouTube, he said he got an early copy and he started playing it live on stream, right? Which I guess you can do. Okay, so he started playing it and he's like, all right, I'm going to show you what the multiplayer is like. And I'm thinking to myself, how are you going to show us what multiplayer is like? Because nobody has the game yet. Like, nobody's allowed to have the game unless they got the game early. So you and like 5 other people in the world might be playing this right now. Okay. So he goes in the game and he sits there for like 3 minutes waiting in the lobby because he's waiting for the game to see if anyone fills into the game. And I'm like, okay, how many people are going to happen? All of a sudden, pop, 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 it fills up. All bots. All bots. Now, I know people look at this and go, well, yeah, of course they're bots, 30, because no one's got the game. Yes. But my thing is, if there's bots for this right now, it exposed what they're going to do for the actual game. Because my question this whole entire time was, how are you going to fill all these lobbies up when you have domination, conquest, breakthrough, battle royale, portal, everyone's separated and going in all their different directions? I was like, how are you going to fill these games? Right? You got to have a lot of people to come in, right? He started playing, there was bots, and I was like, well, that means there's going to be bots. Now, in Battlefield 2042, there was a mode that you went to go play bots, okay? But in this version, because he was waiting for the lobby to fill up, it filled up the whole lobby with bots because there's no one playing because he got the game early. So my question is, okay, let's just say there's 20 people, real people on this side, and 20 real people on this side, and then the rest get filled up with bots, okay?
People get to keep popping in and the bot will drop out. That's how it works.
Sure.
So the games can keep moving.
Or they just always put you in bots so you always feel awesome.
I mean, you'll be able to tell if it's a bot, bro.
Of course you would. Right? But at the same time, if I'm tired of winning, or I'm sorry.
Never
tired of winning. Tired of losing, right? If I'm tired of losing, they'll put you in a lobby where you feel like you're a winner now, right? Get to use that gun that you just got in the open class.
I never played a multiplayer shooter to play against bots. I always played a multiplayer shooter to play against somebody else. That's the whole point of the multiplayer shooter. One team versus another team. That's the way you're supposed to play it. I'm not excited about playing bots.
Right. Anyway, we'll get to Battlefield in a little bit. All right, so Generation X Gaming Weekly Podcast goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way live, 8 p.m. Right here on YouTube, also over on Twitch. Live after the fact, we're here. You can watch the past broadcast. If you're watching this on the past broadcast and you like our podcast, you can use that little hype button that they put onto YouTube. I don't know what it does, so you're gonna have to find out what it does. It supposedly hypes up the podcast after the fact. So if you have a hype button after the fact and you like our podcast, maybe use that hype button for us. It helps us out on this channel. You can also watch and listen to the past broadcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Anchor.fm. So we appreciate you very much. Let's get to the very first thing, which is what we've been playing. I gotta find the thing. Here it is. I'm gonna do what Krebsy does to me. Do you want fucking flowers? Do you want flowers, Krebsy? Because you said something? Do you want flowers or do you want a cookie? Which one would you like? Flowers or cookies? All right, Sarge. Another week, another episode. What have you been playing? What would you be playing? I know you played the police game with me and you played the fire game, so let's...
Yeah, I played the simulation games. Those are good. We could talk about those.
They're good. They're not great. They're good.
I mean, I think... Here's how I feel about those games. If a dev team would treat that game like it was a AAA game, like you want it to be like the best simulator of that genre type of thing, they could do a really, really good job. This cop simulation game based on the complexity of what they were trying to do in the game, they did a very good job for what it is. Now, it still felt like I was playing one of those mafia games with the bad driving and the glitchy citizens.
Yeah. It did.
Like,
It did feel a little bit like that.
So you don't, like, if you spent time and just did it, right? You don't. And by the way, you don't have to make the city so big that you go crazy. If the small town and the little downtown area does really well, then you can sell the expansions, later on down the road, type of thing. But I thought it was fun. I still think it's hilarious. And the more that we learned,
You talk about the cop game, or you talk about the firefighter game?
No, I'm not talking about the fire department game, right? I'll get to that in a minute. Like it's done where they teach you step by step and procedural methods, and then afterwards you realize that regardless of what I pick for the mission, I can do whatever I feel like doing for that day. Like if I feel like doing tickets, or if I feel like doing accident reports, or I feel like doing a murder the murder, go after people. Like it keeps getting more complicated as the missions we unlock. Like I think so many stars it unlocks.
The higher rank you go, the more things open up. Like we just unlocked, but we haven't done one yet. Now you get like drug dealers and stuff that you have to apprehend and stuff like that now.
I mean, considering all the simulation games that we know of, that we've played in the past, if they would just if let's put it this way, if
they did 98%. Yeah, they did 98%.
If you're sitting around thinking you want to make a simulation game and you're thinking we can make the best simulation game ever, right? And then halfway through you're like, I don't care anymore. Like that's kind of like how you feel.
We did the minimal viable. Yeah.
Right. We did the thing. But if it was the best, if it was like the Spider-Man of simulation games, like they would use it to teach cops. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like so, I'm not saying it's disappointing. I'm just saying that you guys are so close to doing a really good simulator that makes people want to play it.
Here it is, the mod that they did for Grand Theft Auto 5 online, right? With no pixel, did a better job with the police like interactions and stuff like that in a separate game, where I'm sure that this game got created because of that, right? They were like, oh, we could do that. Let's make a separate game. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. I have a lot of fun though playing. I thought it was. I think it's interesting when you pull people over. There's a procedural. It does teach you, right? It says you have to do the handbook. You have to know the rules and stuff. So, like you said, I think games are like this are important, especially in this age, because a lot of people don't look at these blue collar jobs, as you can say, right? Where you make fun of the truck driving or the police or the firefighter, but all of these things. There's another one, the ship, where you're driving big cruise ships or tankers and stuff around. I forget what that one's called. Someone posted in our Discord the other day. Like you're in charge of like a dock and like ships and you're shipping cargo,
like a dock worker simulator.
Cargo simulator or something like that. Yeah. So like people look at that as gamers, and you're like, that's so stupid, right? But people literally learn to fly the plane in Microsoft Flight Sim, or drive the train in Train Sim, or be a truck driver in Truck Driving Simulator, and they actually get real people to get jobs in these departments because they played these things.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, I know this is going to sound dumb. But like when you were a kid, you played cops and robbers, or you played whatever game you were playing outside, right? Maybe you have the toy car. Maybe you were lucky and there was a television show on of the thing that you like a police, like a old 70s or 80s police show that made you want to be a cop, right?
Yeah.
So
Lethal Weapon or something.
Like,
you know what I mean?
So nowadays, if you got a simulator and the simulator is like real,
right?
Like everything in
super
real life
realistic.
is in the simulator. So it teaches you this is what's going to happen if you want to be a cop, or this is what's going to happen if you want to be. I think that's a good thing.
Sure, I agree.
I think that a kid growing up being able to play a simulator for like one of those type of city jobs, like even if it was just with trash man, right? Trash men get like $100,000 a year, but
right.
Even if there was a trash simulator, that type of thing. I know it sounds stupid, but like, you don't know.
Yeah,
right?
no, I agree.
Some people like doing what they like to do. I didn't understand the fire one because I didn't understand What does it mean when I point the water at the flames? Like, shouldn't it go out?
No,
like,
no.
The little things shrink.
Yeah,
it
they
never
shrink.
goes out, and then it flares back up. Like,
no,
I
they
don't
do go out.
understand. I don't
No, they do go
understand.
out. So I told you that if you aimed up higher than the actual thing, the water filters down, right? So it's showing that but you have to hit it with the hose,
No
right?
shit.
So when the circle vanished, it was gone, but it could reignite based on what was happening in there if you didn't get to it fast enough.
Get that, but I'm working with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, they were terrible.
They're
The
not doing
NPCs are
anything.
absolute garbage.
Right, they're not doing anything. Like, it's when it looks good, it could be good, and then you have clunky controls. Like, I know this sounds corny, but it's 2025, bro. If I look at an NPC and then do a command, it should just know what I'm trying to tell it. Like, I'm activating you.
Right.
I want you to do this.
You're a firefighter, so
Like,
it should
what do
automatically be like, we're fighting fires here. So what do you want me to default for the actual guy?
Grab
should be
a hose and
grab a
start
hose,
shooting.
shoot water. That's what it should be, right?
Right, but you're fighting it the whole time. I'm like, why are we fighting these guys? Like, I told the guy to grab a hose and follow me, right? And
Copy, boss.
And then when I'm
on you,
shooting the
boss.
water, and then I go to get something else.
I got your
actually
back,
still
boss.
Following me.
Yeah,
Like,
I got you, boss.
no, dude, shoot the water.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Why don't you just commit to the actual project? Just do it. Just do it one time.
Wolverine says trade skill jobs will be relearned by society through simulators, but in reality, we're just turning into people from Wall-E at this point. Yeah,
But it's true. It's true.
I've always liked these games. Like I'll try certain like TCG Card Simulator, right? Like owning a comic book shop and
you
setting
wanna
it
do
up,
that.
right?
Maybe you want to do that.
In some way, shape, or form, I like games like that because I've always wanted to own a business like that. I've owned things before, but never a business like that. So this is like my fantasy where I don't have to spend $500,000 to open up a place and pay rent and whatever else. You're just playing a video game and you that small little caption of stuff, right? People want to like just wind down. Maybe they want to play Power Wash Simulator. Maybe they want to play Dock Simulator. Maybe they want to play Train Simulator. That's a sleep simulator for me. If I played this Train Simulator just on a track, I'd be out, right? But I get why people.
Why so many trains derail.
That's right. I get why people like these things. I love Truck Simulator. That's one of my favorite simulator games of all time. Like when that comes to console, I will rebuy it. I have over 1,000 hours in American Truck Simulator. Like it's crazy, but all the simulator stuff I do.
But that's another thing. Like we need truck drivers. Like
they have actual ads in the game.
A lot of people
to hire people
don't understand the trucking is everything. The reason why things go into a store for you to buy is all trucks. It's all trucking, right? I understand people want to do the robot truck thing. But you understand how people drive, right? Like how normal people drive. So you could say you want to make everything robot trucking, but sometimes I think the robot truck would get into trouble because it doesn't know how to anticipate and what's going on immediately in front of you when one of those idiots does what they're going to do.
Right.
So you need to have truck. Now, I keep hearing the conversations that the truck drives itself, but there's a trucker in the truck.
Just to make sure,
just to make sure
he's the safety switch.
So I get it. So but he's there. Like, shouldn't he drive the truck? Like, why do we keep saying to make things easier, but then when you make it easier, nobody's actually getting experience doing the thing that you might need to do? Right.
I've always liked games that where you open up. I used to play these. I don't know what you call them. Where you open up like a pizzeria or. Now they're all mobile games now, but back in the day, you would like open up a pizzeria or an Italian restaurant or something in a video game. I thought those were always cool because it taught me about business when I was a kid, right? Because our parents were in the food industry when we were younger, so it intrigued me and like how that operated, serve the tables and serve like that. I don't know. I find stuff like that always interesting because a lot of people, I think everyone should always have a hospitality job. I think you have to have a hospitality job before you go on to your next job.
Since McDonald's is going to be AI everything, we just forget about McDonald's. We just put you in the food industry.
You have to be in the food industry. You have to be able to like serve food, clean up after people, and then go into the regular world. And so then you're not an asshole to someone that's working in the industry or serving tables, or you know what I'm saying? Like you have a respect for them because you've been there.
Well, I always thought that once you figure out what it is you like to do and don't like to do, your punishment for doing something wrong and going to jail is to be put in that job.
Oh,
like
yeah,
part
like
of your work program thing in being in jail.
You're an asshole.
You get to work in a spot that you hate working at because it'll teach you why you
right. You should not be an asshole.
Right. That's how it's supposed to be. Otherwise, how do you learn anything? Right. If we forget the top things in life that people forget is you're supposed to try things on your own. You're supposed to do jobs you don't like. You're supposed to. This way you gain respect for people who actually do the job. Right. That way you understand things a little bit better, and you're supposed to fail and try. You're not supposed to just be given a pass. That's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to fail. Your first job's supposed to suck because you're supposed to understand how everything works. The more I'll say this, the more jobs you have, the more you realize how people. The more you understand how people actually think. And then you start to realize what it is you actually want to do. Because if you've got to get up every day for 30 years or 40 years, depending on when you start working, you may want to pick something that you actually like getting up for.
Right. If you get up and go,
right, and you're still doing it. Like I don't understand what you're doing.
You might want to change a career, right?
I don't know what you're doing if every day you're reluctantly going to work and just mad. That just you need to evaluate, bro. You need to start over.
I would actually like that game right there. Do they ever make a game like that? Dirty Job Simulator? You know, one of my goals, Wolverine, is to interview Mike Rowe. I would love to sit down with Mike Rowe and talk to him. He seems like a man because his background. I know he used to be an opera singer. I know obviously he's been in the business where he was an actor and then voiceover and then got into his own shows and a host of shows. I love his podcast. I love the way he interviews people. I would love to interview Mike Rowe. I've actually reached out to him. Obviously, I never get a thing, but we're going to stop. Still going to put it out there because I want to interview him.
I mean, he's going to retire eventually. He'll have time.
Yeah. He seems like a really cool guy. And what he's doing is really cool as well with the scholarships and stuff he does for the Forget People jobs.
But he's like one of the pinnacle guys spearheading the people to get guys for
the skill trades.
Skill trades. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can do a lot of things with AI and robots and shit. Like I'm not dismissing it, but the day-to-day how cities and fucking society runs, you got to have people working it. You got to have guys there. You got to have plumbers. You got to have garbage men. You got to have this stuff. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Like I'm sure eventually they'll have a robot that can work on the most dangerous job, like the Fisher boat thing, where it doesn't fall over and it can rank. But until that day comes, we'll be long gone before that day comes. You need people at those jobs.
I'm just waiting for they can duplicate me 1-to-1, so you don't even know I'm here, right? And I can just do something else while my AI self is doing the podcast, right? That's what I'm waiting for. Don't worry, chat. It's never going to happen because it's like the truck driver. I'm going to be here because I like doing this stuff. What other game? Right? We played the fire simulator. We played the police simulator. Yeah. Yep. I've been playing Orcs Must Die again with Death Trap.
Anymore. I tried that. I can't do it anymore.
Me and Mr. Luke were playing, and we have it at the point now we've upgraded pretty much everything. So we just put traps and stuff at a certain area, and they don't even get past that certain point. So we just sit back and just cashing in, and then we just put more traps down. It's fun. It's a different tone.
It's a puzzle game.
Yeah, once you figure it out, we've figured out how to make everyone go around the world with our barricades and stuff.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's not a game that you would put in, I want to say 1,000 hours. You wouldn't play it nonstop. To me, I call it a palate cleanser. Like I was putting a lot of time into Helldivers 2. I got a little frustrated. We were playing on was it Monday, right? Monday, and I was just like, I think I'm done right now. I was like, because it was just bullshit. We were playing level 6, and it felt like level 8 or 9. Like it was just constant guys coming after us in Helldivers 2. They were just appearing in front of us. Gunshots weren't hitting the guys. I was like, okay. I was like, something that should have been just so simple to like run and do. It was like,
it becomes tedious.
Yeah, it was just a tedious thing. I was just like, all right, I think I'm done. I not done because I play it every day, but I'm like going to a lower level. 6s right now. I'm waiting for them to do some sort of update, which I think they did. It's running better supposedly, but there's still pop-ins, right? People are still popping in right in front of you. You want to pop them around the corner, cool. But if they're popping in front of me like 3 feet, and all of a sudden they're just popping in, and they're like there, and all of a sudden there's a big harvester in front of me, yeah, no. Like, make them come around a building, make them come out of the things that were blowing up, the actual factories that they're supposed to come out of, make them come out of the ships that they're actually supposed to drop in, not just appear magically in front of you and be like, ta-da, there it is.
It's just broken code. That's all that is. It's broken code. I mean, I have my circle of games. I was playing Minecraft the last week, right? I played on survival, right? I try not to die at all, like 0 deaths. And then I try to find a town, primarize the town, establish, and if I make it, then I give myself a checkbox. But if I don't die,
They've added a lot of stuff to that game. My son was showing me.
Yeah, but it's
you have like little golems now.
It's complicated for the sake of being complicated now. Whereas before it was a cozy game. Now it's like this. There's like different echelons of Minecraft. Like there's the basic stuff. Then you end up with the town and traders. And then all the magic potion mixing, and then how to get the diamond armor enough so I can go after the warden. Like it's like I consider the warden the boss. I don't consider the dragon the boss. Like I consider the warden the boss because he's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, he's got the most health. Right,
so you have to go in like prepared to fight a warden. Like the dragon thing to me is just like a procedural thing. You get there, run around in a circle. Do
at least they've did updates now where like the copper's used for stuff, and like you can make different armors. You can train different animals. Now you have a golem that can like organize the stuff. So you always have like this thing where you come back, you're like have all this shit on you. You throw it into a chest.
Yes,
and
but you have to actually put an item in each of the chests.
In each of the chests. Yeah.
Or to know where.
Yeah, but once the item's in the chest, he's just like, okay, I got this, and it puts it in the chest, right? You can make all these like factory type of things now, basically with the golems, and then obviously there's like add-ons that you can do. Like he downloaded a. I'm still trying to figure out how to conveyor belts and stuff like that.
Farm. I'm still trying to figure out how to make a proper iron farm. I can't get it to work.
I don't understand.
I can't get it to work.
Go watch a video.
I do watch the video. I can't get it to work properly. I follow the procedure.
You get a bed.
I can't.
You get the 3 villagers.
You get the guy to work properly. I can't get it
get behind the barrier. You got to put them three down in the ditch. You got to put beds. You got to put the zombie guy or whatever in a mine cart. You got to capture him in the mine cart. Then you got to put the golem on top, and he sits there and he produces iron. That's it. Come on.
Yeah, sounds completely easy.
Super simple.
Yeah, super easy. Super easy.
John says, "Screw the flesh mobs." Yeah, it's not even just them. It's everybody. It's everybody. I was on a level 1 traversal, just running around to get the super credits and whatnot. Okay. I have my stealth armor on so they don't detect me a little bit. There's nobody on traversal. Like nobody. Okay, I get the stuff. Okay, I go to extract. One of the little things comes over. Little floating guy sees me, turns, goes boop, shoots. I didn't have even time to shoot him. Okay, all of a sudden, 3 ships, traversal now. Traversal.
You keep saying traversal. You mean trivial?
Trivial, not traversal. I'm traversing. Right, trivial. Right.
What the fuck are you saying?
On level 1, just. Mobs coming. I died 3-4 times on
level 1.
On level 1, trying to escape. I was like, "What is happening?"
It's broke. It's broke.
It's irritating. It's irritating.
It's broke.
All right. What else? Anything else you've been playing?
I mean, Baldur's Gate. I'm in a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 1. I'm in a playthrough.
Are you still playing?
3.
Okay, I was going to say, you still playing Baldur's Gate 3?
I mean, we're close to the end, but there's so many things. There's a lot of wheels turning right now. Like, I don't know where to go. You're in Baldur's Gate. Like, Baldur's Gate is impressive. I'm going to have to say that. Baldur's Gate's impressive. Like, I thought Baldur's Gate was impressive in the first game, but in the third game, it's insane how large and how detailed the city they made.
I have 11 and a half hours. I haven't gone back.
I give them props, man. I give them props. It is such a good game to bring back the memories of the old RPGs. It's just done so well.
Yeah, Water, he's been playing Baldur's Gate 3 for the last like 4 months, every
No,
Sunday.
Is it 4 months? Has
It's
it been that
at
long?
least it's over the summer.
Travis, are you in here? Travis, are you in here? How long have we been playing?
Yeah, it's over the summer. You guys started.
How long have we been playing? I lost track. How long?
It's got to be since May, June.
It's got to be right.
Yeah, easily.
May.
Yeah, I want to say you guys started. I could probably go look at when you guys started.
Yeah, it's got to. It's. I mean, we're near the end. We're wandering because there's too many broken quests. Right? I don't like to have broken quests. I want to finish them.
You mean broken quests that you haven't finished yet, not broken actual broken.
No, they're not broken. Broken quests meaning that you
Yeah,
started it,
you started it, you did something else. Yeah.
Then you forgot to go back to that one, so it's like in the middle of it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I missed the Steam sale. I'm looking at Steam sale. I was looking to see if I could buy some other things. And then I started weighing it out. I'm like, do I have time to play this? Do I have time to play this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, November sale's coming up. It's coming up soon. Just don't worry. You didn't miss much. The holiday sale's coming up. Take some notes. And that way, when the holiday sale starts, I'll start buying again.
Well, one of the games I was interested in, which we're going to change, we're going to go to top stories because it's one of the top stories I want to talk about. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, one of the games I was interested in, we're about to talk about. So let's get to the top stories. All right, real quick, anybody that also, I have a little QR code that's up on the corner above Sarge's head. If anyone is interested, we have a album out. It's called Perk Up and Press Play. We're not sponsored by anybody. I'm digging out my own stuff here. I made an album. Okay, wrote all the songs, made with the AI music. Go check it out. It's called Perk Up and Press Play. I guarantee you'll be humming some of the songs by the end of it. They'll be stuck in your head. And I got other singles out there. All the links are in the description down below for Spotify, or if not. But if you're on the television set, or you want to you can just hit this QR code. It'll take you over to Spotify. You can stream the music. You can buy the music and download the music. It's on all major sites. So go check that out. Helps us out here on the channel as well. People have like shirts and selling coffee and everything else. I made a music album, so you can listen to it in the car and while you're on the toilet, taking a shower, mowing the lawn, whatever you want. Go listen to some music. So there you go. The first thing I want to talk about, Sarge, is this story right here. Kingsmaker, right? I was excited for Kingsmaker. We saw this, right? We saw this, and very first time we saw this last year, we went, that's going to be rough to run, right? With all the guys on the screen. So here we are. Kingsmaker gets surprise delay a week before release, and this irritates me. This irritates me beyond anything. Okay, because 5 days before you were going to release your game, you're like,
we can't do it.
We can't do it. It's just not going to run. We don't want to give you a half-ass game. So what happened? And what I think happened was Borderlands 4. Right? I think Borderlands 4 came out and got so much shit for the performance issues, right? And then Helldivers getting performance issues, and they went, you know what? Maybe now is not the greatest time to add to this shitstorm of performance issues. Now, I do applaud them to be like, hey, we're not going to drop a game broke, buggy, and unfinished. We're going to wait until it's a little bit more finished. But now here's the thing. Now that they've delayed it and they have no date when it's coming out, indefinitely, as they always say, okay? If it comes out now, broke, buggy, and unfinished, after they've delayed it and said, we're not going to put it out there, because in here, they say, we do not want to release, okay, in this long statement here, let me bring it up here, in this course,
very formal
stuff here, okay? It says, after much contemplation, we realized the schedule, okay, that the scheduled Kingsmaker launch on October 8th will no longer be possible, and we want to apologize for all the fans who are eagerly anticipating the game. We're so sorry for letting you down, okay? Why is it being delayed? In short, it's an incredibly ambitious, uncompromising game that we don't want to cut any planned features. So, for the sake of getting it out the door earlier, our goal is to start and has been to create something that's nothing like anything else that's on the market, which is great. Right, in terms of gameplay, scale, scope, and interactively. Okay, it says with Kingsmaker, we're set to push the Unreal Engine 4 code base in the absolute limits, while it's also providing a 60 frames per second mid-range PCs without the need to fake frames or 80% engineer team who got into this business to push technology barriers. Okay, we're currently having tens of thousands of soldiers, each on AI, pathfinding rivals. We also expect from AAA third-person shooters. When you walk away from this battle, it continues to play, right? So if you're over here on this side of the thing, there's still thousands of people fighting over on the other side, even though you're not on the screen with them. Nothing is faked, and we have 6-story castles. Every room can be entered. Every wall, floor, or ceiling can be destroyed. When you build the lumber mill, it is a real place, and you can be entered or enemy invasions turn into combat arenas. And when you drive a car into a tree or eject through the windshield, the tree breaks from the stump and also rolls over, and what happens to the soldiers along is its path. Every mission.
This is in the apology, or are you reading something else?
No, this is in the apology. Every mission takes.
What the hell is happening?
Every mission takes place in the massive map, and each player on the server is free to explore with or without their own personal army of thousands. Okay, we set out to do all of this with full drop-in, drop-out, 4-player multiplayer support, and we just need a bit more time for the content polish before it feels good about charging money for it. But you were charging money for it, and just 5 days before it releases, you're like, oops,
all right, well,
let's not do that.
All right, so let's try not to be negative Nancy about the whole thing. Let's look at it this way. So because of the folly of other games, they rationally decided that if we release, we're going to be in the same boat as these other AAA titles, and do we want to do that? So I guess we can thank Borderlands thank these other games for releasing Broken, because a guy who wants to be known and wants to build up a following decided that it wasn't a good idea to fuck a bunch of people over with a half-ass game. So that's good. That's a good thing. Right?
For now.
Right? However,
for now.
However, right? You were going to release it.
Yes.
Right? You were going to release it. Right? So if Borderlands and the other game did well, you would have released it broken, buggy, and finished.
100%.
Right? Because you would have just rolled the punch.
If there was no shit given for performance issues on the other games, they would have released it and said, oops, we'll fix it down the road. 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 18 weeks.
So I don't know how to feel about it. So I guess the way I'll feel about it is you made the right choice, but I got my eye on you now.
Correct. And it's not a good eye, right?
No.
I was hoping that this game would come out and you'd be like, this is what we're talking about. See how this AA game can do it right, where these AAA games suck? And they're like, we were trying to do what they did, but we're not doing it. We're not doing that, right? This reminds me of Cyberpunk so much, because Cyberpunk, when Fallout 76 came out, they said, we're not going to do what that other guys are doing. We're going to give you a complete finished game. And then Cyberpunk came out and it was like melted and everything had problems. And then they fixed it 3 years later.
All this nonsense is going to stop. I think we haven't reached the point yet, but I think it's coming because of all the turmoil that's going on in the industry with the payment processors and games releasing broken, buggy, and these subscription fees for online gaming. And I think something's going to snap. Something's going to happen where we're going to have to go to court and we're going to have to get some customer protection, consumer protection, that is, because Europe, even though Europe's in turmoil, at least they have consumer protection in the gaming space. In the States, we do not.
Right.
And I'm waiting.
We'll talk about that in a second.
I'm waiting for something to happen here where somebody just says it's enough, and we need to have some type of consumer protection, because the greed factor is out of control. The subscription thing's out of control. The lack of choices is out of control, because remember, no hard copies, no box stores, digital from the store only. They control the price. I don't have a choice. Not to mention, I don't have a choice because if I play on console, I have to pay you monthly to play online, even though PC I don't. Like, there's all these things happening, and eventually the greed factor and the rest of this piling on is something's gonna give here, and we're gonna run into it to where we're gonna have to. I mean, I don't want to say bad shit, but we're gonna have to find a way to keep this in check, because the corpos have had advantage now for quite a while, and I think it needs to swing back the other way, because we really don't have choice, and it's getting to the point now where it's blatantly obvious that you can't even disagree with the fact that you're not going to own anything and you have to pay them. So
right.
That's the issue.
Well, speaking of protection, consumer protection. Xbox, when they raised the price of Game Pass Ultimate, there was a thing going around. Now, this is a different one than the one that they were sending over to Europe. Okay. So, Krebsy, can you do me a favor? I can't find the one. Can you give me the other one that Europeans have? And let me know when you put it in the Discord, because I can't look it up right at this moment. But so Jeff Keighley comes out and says, just received this email from Xbox Game Pass due to changing market conditions. Okay, it says, thank you for being a subscriber for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. We're planning to update our price to address the changing market conditions. The price change allows us to continue to bring you more value to great games and very best gaming experience starting November 4th. The first month of subscription price will be $29.99 plus acceptable taxes every recurring period unless you cancel up to 2 days prior to your next scheduled payment date. You can also manage your subscription. Okay, so there was this going around, but for a European version where it said that if you're grandfathered in, basically, if you have the ultimate price at $20, okay, and this is the one that I'm trying to find, was floating around. People were like, "Oh, it's a fake email. It's a fake email," but it wasn't fake. It was a real email, but it was for UK and for like Ireland and England and a couple of other countries over there in certain regions, because their parliament, their guys have set up rules for consumer protection, right? So they don't get screwed over. And you always say this, like, we need consumer protection. We need consumer protection. We don't have that here. So here in the States, they're like, yeah, by the way, you're paying, right?
Wet.
You're paying the $30, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So if your thing is gone, right? If your thing is not recurring or anything, you're paying the $30 right away. But if you're over in Europe and you have the higher tier price, you're basically grandfathered in because they have to warn you 60 days in advance. And as long as you have that tier, you're safe as long as you have the recurring payment plan going. If you uncheck the recurring payment plan, okay, then your thing ends and then basically it cancels you. So when you come back in for the new thing, it charges you at the new price. But as long as you hit the recurring button, you're stuck at that old price until it expires.
And why is it we don't get that?
Exactly.
Right.
Now, so this is another conversation I want to have as far as Microsoft right now. Everyone, and there's a bunch of stories with everyone piling on Microsoft. Okay, and there's no defense here.
That's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what it is. It's a dog pile. Okay, they came out and obviously they raised the price of the consoles, which is fucking stupid. I think you just sent it to me, right?
Well, it's not that they raised the prices. It's that they raised the prices twice in the same year. So
well, right.
How good is their accounting firm when they're working out the math?
Thanks, Grubby. So is this the one? Yeah. Okay. So this is the recurring one. Okay. Microsoft delays Xbox Game Pass Ultimate prices hikes for some subscribers. Current subscribers in some European countries won't be affected by Microsoft's Game Pass price hike just yet. Okay, so Microsoft is holding off on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price hikes for some extending subscribers to select countries after announcing a 50% price increase of Game Pass Ultimate last week. Microsoft now says that the price increase will only be currently affecting new purchases and not existing subscribers in markets like Germany, Ireland, South Korea, Poland, and India. Okay, weird. So here's the thing. Why didn't Microsoft do this for everybody?
Because the money we pay more out of pocket in the States. They're trying to encapsulate that money. That's why.
But think about the goodwill and how many people.
Those other countries probably have the same kind of consumer protection.
Correct. But what I'm saying is, if Microsoft came out and said, let's say this was just a couple days before October, right? Couple days, not October 1st, saying, hey, we raised the prices, ta-da, right? Like it's like Randy Pitchford doing a magic trick, right? No, it's just a couple days before. They could have said, hey, we're going to be raising the price. But if you're already an Ultimate member, you're at this as long as you hit the recurring button. Because if you hit the recurring button, they're actually going to make that $20 every month. You know what I mean? They want to know that they're getting that payment, right? It's like a landlord. Hey, you want to pay 6 months up in advance before because I want to keep this thing. Right? So they want to know they're getting their money up front. If Microsoft came out and said, hey, if you have the Ultimate membership and you have the recurring thing, you're at this $20. But if you come in after October 1st, you're going to pay $30. I think that alone would have made people come into Game Pass at the $20 mark, knowing that they wouldn't be paying $30 after the fact. They could have had some growth there. But instead, the way they did it was get the fuck out. They kicked everybody out. They're like, yeah, you either pay the money or leave, right? And we talked about this last week where they knew the percentage. They know the percentage of people that would have quit compared to the people that are going to pay, right? I just think it's stupid that obviously they don't have to. They're a corporation. They like money. They're doing what they're doing. But it would have went a really big way, a long way, with the people that were Xbox fans that were like, yeah, oh, this is awesome. So you're raising the price for new people, but because we've been here, we get to pay the $20 until it stops paying, elapsing over time.
Yeah, but in order for it to work the way that they want it to work, it couldn't work in the States because with the percentage of people that they saw with their math that were going to walk away, the ones that were going to stay and pay the additional $10 offsets, like you said before. I'm not saying 100% of the offset, but the price doesn't, the revenue per month doesn't drop as severely because those people are going to just stay in Game Pass.
Right.
Right. If the American market was able to, whoever was in Game Pass would be able to stay in Game Pass at $20, nobody knew would sign up. Because of all the stuff that's happening right now, nobody knew would sign up for $30, knowing that if I had it already at 20, I would get it at 20, right? They would go ape shit. So the only way that works is you have to make everything go up, and then we have to decide whether we're staying or not. And I made a decision. I got one card I bought online from Amazon. It's a 3-month one, and when this month's over, I'm going to use the card for the next 3 months, and then at the beginning of next year, after the holidays have cleared my mind and I'm back into normal mode again after the holidays are over, I'm probably going to just scale down to the basic version.
Yeah, the $10. Right. You don't use all the features.
I don't need all that shit.
And if you need to go up, then you go up. Right. So real quick, yeah, Krebsy, I was going to actually say that, but I'll put Krebsy's thing on the screen. He says this also shows, right, the announcement. Why did they announce the EU stuff off the rip? Why did they have to find this out afterwards instead of saying, hey, any members of, because I think it would be more turmoil because they'll be like, well, why are you doing it for them but not for us, right? That's what they do. So here's what the email actually says, okay, that they got sent out. It said, recently, you may have heard about the changes to the price of Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. At this time, these increases will only affect the new purchases and will not affect the current subscription for the market in which you reside, as long as you are auto-recurring plan. Should you choose to cancel your plan and repurchase, you'll be charged at the new current rate. If for any reason where they may be changes to your existing account, we will notify you with 60 days in advance and will have the option to cancel or change your subscription plan at any time, right? This sounds... That's a
hostage move.
Yeah, but this sounds so much better than, sorry, $30, pay up, fucker, right?
But you understand why, though, right? Like, if you weigh out what's been happening, here's how I think it went down, honestly. I think the suits above Phil... Okay, the 3 people that are within the Xbox now,
yeah, Nadell and all whatever. Right? Yeah,
the 3 that are there now, the ones over their head said, "This is," and I'm pretty sure I'm paraphrasing, right? We've waited the 5 years. You guys said it was going to do this. It hasn't done this. It's our turn. We're deciding.
You had your shot. Yeah, you had your shot.
Right? Yeah. You had your shot, and now this is how it's going to be. And they're like, we don't agree with it. It's going to cause more. It's going to cause more pain than you think. And so they just shotgun blasted the door. They said, that's it. It's $30 now. Too fucking bad. And most people was like, I'm not paying $30. I'm out.
I kind of look at it a little different. I think, and I said this a little bit today in my morning show. I feel that Microsoft is playing the game of they know what's coming, right? It's like the weatherman. They know what the storm is coming.
Know.
Yeah, they know what the storm's coming. Regardless if they're third place in console sales, they know where the market's going. They know where cloud's going. They know where all this stuff's going.
A $1 trillion company can play the waiting game, bro. They can play the waiting game for a long time.
But here's where I'm coming in here, right? Last week we talked about Luna. They all of a sudden their cloud thing and they're doing the board game thing, right? We have a story tonight. We're going to talk about Netflix. They're also doing the cloud straight to your television set board game thing as well for gaming, right? They're putting games on that thing with no controller.
That's how it starts.
Right. So you have 2 people that weren't players in the actual game that all of a sudden are now in the same ballpark as Microsoft with the cloud gaming and whatnot, right? Microsoft's pushing cloud gaming on all the tiers. They know what's happening. And I said this earlier today. I was like, what about if they know that not only are game prices not going to $80, but they're going to go up higher than $80 for standard stuff, okay? And $30 right now for the subscription model looks absolutely like you're like, what the fuck, dude? Because maybe next year...
Until you see the $100 game.
Right. Maybe next year it was supposed to go to 25, and then the year after it was going to go to 30, but they said, you know what? let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get the 30 now. Okay. We're going to get hit hard right now, but in the long run, they'll see it, because then you're either going to pay $80, $90, $100 for standard games going in the future, which Microsoft will gladly take your $100 off the thing, or you go back to the $30 thing. Now, obviously, Game Pass could definitely go up again, 35, 40, whatever. But where does this go, right? I think Microsoft knows that the cloud was the future. That's why they put all the money towards cloud. That's why they're putting all the money towards AI. They know what's happening, okay? If the other people in the industry didn't think it was happening, why would they start putting their stuff on cloud then? You understand what I'm saying? So I think they see and they know the storm that's coming because they manipulate the storm. They are in control of where the storm is going. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, they're all on the same team. They're all in that market. They're all manipulating what the consumers, we are the oil, right? They are pumping us to get more money out of us, information, whatever it is. So I look at it as they're raising this early to condition us and then go, oh, look, they raised the price, but look at the prices of video games in 2 years, 3 years from now, it's gonna go up, and people are gonna push back and go, I'm not paying $80. Well, guess what? Game Pass that's been out for 2 years at $30 now, you'll be like, well, that looks like a better gaming deal again, right? Right now, it doesn't look like a good gaming value deal.
Well, there's a lot of factors involved. It's not just the fact that it doesn't look a good idea. The umbrella that was given to us by Xbox of what was going to happen with this umbrella, like what we were going to get for this, they decided to throw it all away. You lost your brand loyalty. You lost the idea of having a brand. You lost the idea of being loyal to an actual piece of hardware because you don't want us to have hardware. You said anything can be the hardware.
Everything right? Is Xbox, right?
So you got rid of physical copies. You raised the price of digital. Then you don't want to do hardware. You just want to do software. So everything you're doing is basically telling me that if I have an option, I don't even want to pick you. Like, because the reason why I wanted to pick you is because you had a deal in gaming when you did do the Game Pass for $20 and what you were getting for the $20. But the issue now is that the way the market is going, I don't think that Xbox cares whether or not you're happy with them or not. I got to be honest, because there is no more options.
Right.
There are no more options to where you're going to get your game from. Yes, you could get that. I still think, I swear to you, I think the CD key business, I think it's them. I want to do some more research, and I want to see if it's another company that's owned by either Microsoft or Sony. No, it's got to be.
It's a completely different company.
Because without the CD key company selling games on the side, right, it would automatically become a monopoly. You know this, right? Like, if that business wasn't
right, if it didn't exist,
right, if
right,
that business
monopoly,
didn't exist,
because it's there and it's a small portion.
Correct.
They're okay to maintain, and
Correct.
they're okay to
right, because you cannot buy a game anywhere. You have to be online, and you have to buy it from them.
This is exactly
how it is.
This is exactly why I think, which this actually goes perfect into the next segment. Go ahead, continue.
Right. My point is this. If there were somebody out there, and I think there is, I think somebody's out there looking at what's going on right now. I think if somebody was out there right now and they were to make a high-end console, a low-end PC, right, with no branding, like it's for gamers, right? You buy this box, it plays everything, right? It plays the Sony games, it plays the Xbox games,
right?
It plays whatever, and you sell that box.
Well, that's
for $400.
That's the ROG Ally was supposed to be
$500, and you just bypass everybody else, and you say, "I'm selling a gaming system that plays everything." Right? Do you know what that would do to the market? They would go completely and utterly ape shit. Like, that's what we would need right now. We would need a disruptor on that level. That's not affiliated with either Microsoft, just somebody to make an actual piece of hardware that just plays everything.
The reason I think that, and I've always said why they're not going to get out of the console market, like Xbox is not going to get rid of the consoles, because exactly what you said, Sarge. If it's just digital, if everything's just digital and you can't buy physical is a small portion. They're still going to make physical, because if they make it all digital, then it is a monopoly. You only can get it on their ecosystem,
I can only get it from their
which
ecosystem.
Is the same thing that is happening with Apple, with Epic is taking them to school for, because they won't let them sell their stuff on their storefront, right? because Apple had that ecosystem of what it is, right? So Microsoft, this is why they're pushing everything everywhere. You want to buy the game, you can buy it on the PC. You want to play on the television set, play on the television set. We're giving you a subscription model. You can play the subscription model, but if you don't like the subscription model, you can go buy the game, but you also don't need to buy the console. But if you want to buy the game and own it on console, then you can get the console with the disc drive, right? Same thing with Sony. Sony's like, look, we're going digital, but if you want that disc drive, we'll sell it to you separately, right? Because otherwise it's a closed ecosystem, and then people they're like, you got a monopoly going on over here, or a duopoly, or whatever. There's other, but they can have this problem where all of a sudden they're in the same ballpark as Apple, where they wouldn't let other people in their storefront. They're trying to do it on the back doors and whatnot. So this is why I think Microsoft and them will not stop making hardware. So this goes into our next thing, which is when someone gets the shit on somebody, other people like to pile on. They dog pile. Okay. Which is 100% understandable. And in the industry, we're a podcast, right? And because we're tiny, I don't have any sponsors or advertisers or anything like that, right? We're all looking for clicks. We're all looking for stuff to talk about, what the next thing is, and people bullshit and say, oh, it's claimed, it's rumored, it's all this. When they said that the handheld was, they said the Xbox is no longer making consoles. That's it. The next, because they went up $30, and they said they're not making any consoles. They're throwing it out the window. I was like,
what they said.
I said, hold up a second. I said, what if they're talking about the console? Let's say word of mouth got out, and they're like, hey, we're not making that handheld console anymore because of whatever reason. It's come out now that, again, it's claimed. We don't know if it's actually.
I can't even take it seriously. If it says it's claimed in the title, I can't even take it seriously.
Well, it has this where it says rumors and claimed and whatnot. It says Microsoft addresses rumors surrounding the Xbox console future. Okay. It says Microsoft addressed the rumors suggesting that the future of Xbox hardware is up in the air. In a statement provided by Windows Central, Microsoft says that it's actively investing in the future of Xbox systems. Right. And again, I think they're telling the truth because, again, if they got rid of the system completely, then there's that closed ecosystem where you only can get the games on their actual devices themselves, or you're buying it through Xbox Game Pass, and that becomes a problem because you can only get their games. That's why they're dishing them out on PlayStation. That's why they're dishing it out on PC. That's why they're dishing it out on everywhere else. And this is just another avenue. So it says, we're actively investing in our future first-party consoles and devices designed, engineered, and built by Xbox. The company said, for more details, the community can also revisit the agreement announcement with AMD. Now, there's another article, which I believe is this one. Latest rumors. No, where is it? There's one I have here. Okay. So this is claimed where it says Xbox dedicated handhelds was canceled because of AMD required 10 million units. Now, before all of this and before the dog piling because the prices went up for Game Pass and they raised their console prices, I said before they even, on this podcast, you can go back to probably 2022, 2023. I forget what episode it is. We talk about the handheld. And I said, why would they make a handheld device? Okay, put all the R&D in this handheld device when they can just team up with somebody and make a handheld device. Since that time, they did team up with Asus. They made an actual handheld device, the Xbox ROG Ally, okay, X, whatever it is, right? So now they look at this. Again, this is claimed, so we don't know if this is true or not true, okay, whatever. It says Xbox dedicated handheld was canceled because AMD required 10 million units, it's claimed. Now, let's just take this as face value. Take the claim out. Let's say it was. Okay. They wanted to sign a deal, and AMD was like, we need a contract where we're going to make 10 million of these things. Okay. Well, the number one handheld device on the market besides Nintendo, okay, is the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck has only sold like 4 million copies, okay? And you can only buy it from the Steam store, and you can buy it at Best Buy and stuff like that. But they're not like mass marketing this thing, right? So 4 million copies of that device, which is a PC in your hand where you can play Xbox games and other things and PlayStation games off of Steam. That's the market, right? 6 million copies, okay? So they have 10 million. You know how long it would take them to sell 10 million? They can't even sell. They only have 38 million consoles sold. So again, what I said years ago was like, they make their own handheld, they would be third place in that as well. So why put all the research and development into that where someone's already in the market like Asus, where they already have the handheld, where they can just put their name on that device and test the market out, see how it is, right? And so far it seems okay, it's selling out, but there's not a lot of stock. So
yeah, but the bigger issue is, if I believe you, if I believe that Xbox is coming out with a new system, right? I take it for face value. What could it possibly be? the whole lead in is you want cloud gaming, right? So if you want cloud gaming, then my box doesn't have to have like a high-end video card because I'm getting it from the cloud. You're streaming it. You're using your own servers and you're streaming it to me on my box. I don't need the video card in my system anymore because I'm playing cloud. So if the Xbox I have now, the top end model that I have now, no game was made for it. I'm still waiting for the game made for the Xbox. There isn't one, right? So now you want me to buy another box at a higher price without a video card?
Same box.
Like what do you
the same box for a higher price?
Tell me. What could they possibly trying to be selling me? What kind of box would Xbox try to sell you? What's it going to be? My cable box? Like that's basically what you're trying to tell me what it is. You didn't even make the games for the box I have.
Right.
Then you raise the price of the box that I have. You still don't have a game for this box. Everything is always broken and released. It's day one patch and it's still not running right. And now you want me to believe that you guys want to make another piece of hardware before 2030? And you think that's going to sell? I'm trying to figure out the direction that Microsoft wants to go. I think that they blew something up that wasn't supposed to be blown up, right?
What do you mean? When you say blow it up? What do you mean?
I think that this trek was supposed to go on for a little longer, and I think they snapped and they said, "We're done. We're done waiting. We're doing this." Right? It's the only explanation.
They called an audible, is what you're saying. They had like a 10-year plan, and they're in like year 5 of it, and the projections don't look. So they called an audible.
Right,
they said
projections don't look good, so they have to do something, right? I don't understand how you would invest this much money in a gaming sector. I know you're a trillion-dollar company, but why would you invest this much into the gaming division and then just decide to blow it up?
Yeah, Laura Fryer, we watched her video today. She said, they're living in this bubble where she said the upper management doesn't really know what they're doing, and she gave an example where when she was with the company all those years ago, they didn't know what they were, right? Because Windows was Office and this and that. They didn't really know what Xbox was, right? Because it was this like cool thing within this stuffy area of office and business software and stuff like that. And then Xbox came in and they said they didn't know what they were doing. They were flying by the seat of their pants doing all this stuff to make it what it was. And now they have this identity of you had these games on your box, right? And you hear people talk about this all the time. They're like, they lost their identity. They're not loyal to their fan base anymore. And now they're going into Game Pass. And we said this for the last like 5-6 years. They're like, everything's an Xbox, which they didn't admit to till last year when they had the commercial. They're like, everything's an Xbox. Or was that earlier this year? I forget when it was.
But you got rid of your own brand.
Yeah, they blew up their own brand.
You don't care if somebody owns your product or not. You just want us to give you money every month. That's exactly what you just said. So what are you going to do when you sell me another box? It doesn't make sense.
This is why I think This is why I think they're still going to make the boxes, but it's not a big thing because if they raise the price up, and let's say it costs $1,000, right? Well, that's at cost.
That's a PC, so they're going to make, bro.
I understand that, but they're going to make their money off the people that want to buy the hardware. There's always the people. Come on, there's always a Greg, right? We had our friend Greg that no matter what system came out, it was the Atari Jaguar, it was the Neo Geo, right? He bought it because he wanted the next tech. He's in that 1 percentile, but there's always those people that are going to buy the gear. They bought the Switch 2, they bought the Steam Deck, they bought the Asus ROG Ally.
It's the influence. If Xbox decides to go, think about this for a minute. If Xbox decides to go to cloud gaming, which we know they are, and you're selling me tiers, and you're telling me right now, like I'm already having I have Ultimate. I'm already having problems with cloud gaming. Right, so you're telling me if I go down to the basic level, cloud gaming is going to be worse, and so you're going to make it a worse experience to make me want to go to the next tier because that's all we're doing is cloud gaming.
Could be.
So the only way I can get better cloud gaming is to go up on a higher tier because cloud gaming is all I have a choice of.
Yeah,
that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it is fucked up. That's why I say that's the same thing with Tesla's doing to map out stuff, right? They use as many people as possible. If they had one car mapping out a city, it would take forever. But if they sell the car and everyone's riding around the car that they paid for, they map out the city entirely well, and then they take that information and sell to other people.
Yeah, but that's a community beneficial thing. This is not beneficial. You put me in a box and then
it is community benefit. No, but it is community benefit because if there's more people on cloud, then they can stress test the servers more for the cloud and go, okay, we need to up the cloud, right?
Rest assured, Okay, let's not pretend it's tariffs. Okay,
It's not tariffs.
it's
Yeah.
let's just make sure we understand what's going on. Remember, Brazil Game Pass price doubled.
Yeah, and they don't have the American
Right.
tariffs.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So the issue here is the money that Microsoft's making. This has to do with AI infrastructure. This has to do with trying to get as much money back into the system as possible because they're spending billions on AI adaptation. That's what's going on.
Yeah. Almost 100 billion. They're spending like 88 billion dollars.
That's what's going on. So they have to get that money from somewhere, right? And so we're the cow. But I can't wait to see what you're going to try to sell me. The box I have, you're not even using. You are not using the box that you sold me already for what you can do with it. Nobody has. I have watched broken AAA game after broken AAA game, never use the power of the box that I have. Why did I get the box?
Right.
So now you're telling me that I don't need a box. Great. I agree with you. I don't even need the box anymore.
Right. No box
Right?
needed.
I'll just get a PlayStation. At least I know it has a game that'll actually work, right? Then on top of that, they're gonna tell me, don't worry, we're gonna sell you another box. Pick a side, bro. Pick a side. There's no way that you are going to get people to buy the box for something that you don't want to sell the box for. I'm trying to understand where they are as a business. You just want someone to hand you $30 a month. That's your business model.
The least
You
amount.
exist,
Yeah. Exactly.
You exist. You like video games. You should give us $30. That's what I'm hearing.
For doing nothing. Right. Exactly.
This is what I'm hearing.
So real quick, Altair says ads will be on the first 3 tiers in 2 years. Well, here's the thing, right? This is another point that we had, and I had this already. I was just looking for the tab. Microsoft was already testing free version of Xbox Cloud Gaming, right? And people are talking about how the ads that are going to be here. It says Xbox Cloud Gaming could have a free ad-supported version launching in the beta test soon, according to reports of social media. While Xbox Cloud Gaming will still offer, as part of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, the free ad-supported tier will reportedly be limited to just 5 hours per month with a brief ad window at the start of each play session. Okay. Now, people are freaking out about this, right? Which I think they should, but at the same time, these are the same people that haven't been tuned in because GeForce Now has been doing this for years. They had a free ad-supported tier, okay, where it's 1 hour play session, a 1 hour play session, okay? You get per day, okay, 1 hour play session, and then you can play every day or whatever for the month, whatever, but it's 1 hour play session with ads, okay? So you have to watch ads and then do the thing. No one's wrote an article about GeForce Now doing a free ad tier, okay? And this is what I'm talking about when they add more dogpile to the thing and make it look worse than it is, okay? Because it's already in the industry. It's already been here for years. GeForce Now has an ad tier free, okay, where you're playing the games and you have 1 hour play sessions. Now, do I think this is fucking stupid? 100%. Is the GeForce Now of obviously the upper tiers not as expensive as Game Pass now? Yes. But it still stands that the free ad tier has been here around for years, but now Xbox is getting in on it. Again, remember, they said that their competition's not Nintendo and Sony. Their competition is Amazon and Google and all these other people. And GeForce Now is also because they do better cloud gaming than Xbox does, right? GeForce Now has better cloud gaming experience than Xbox right now. So that's a big competitor if they're going to the cloud, because if GeForce Now is there before them and they're doing it better than Xbox.
Well, I'm waiting for the guy that sells me the thing that I put into my Xbox that stops me from watching ads. As soon as the pirated version of that comes out, I'm buying that immediately. The whole reason why I play video games is to get away from actual reality. If I have to watch commercials while I'm playing my video games, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Do you understand? Right. Do you understand if I have to watch Coke commercials and McDonald's commercials and all the other bullshit that I normally watch on TV when I'm playing my fucking video game, do you understand how fast I'll cancel something? Like, the whole point for me to remove myself from reality for a little while is I don't have to watch fucking ads.
Right, you don't want to watch ads. Yeah.
Right? And I'm not paying them not to watch fucking ads.
Altern says the difference is that they did it free tier from the start, and Xbox hasn't, but they raised the price and then add tiers. Yeah, but GeForce Now has never had an actual system, right? They're always been digital and cloud. And their plan used to be like $34.99 a month, okay, at one point, and it went down because more people started coming into the system and they lowered the price. Microsoft wasn't with the cloud. They were with consoles. Now they're moving divisions from here to here. They went from this competition. Not only are they staying in their foot in this, but they're now going over on this side as well. They're doing console and cloud, right? They're competing with both, and they're putting themselves on PC. See, this is the difference. They don't care. They rather take the you said it last week or 2 weeks ago, the Office Space scenario where just take pennies from here and here and you become, a millionaire, right? That's what the Xbox is doing. They're putting their stuff everywhere, and then they take it from here, they take it from there. They would rather have 30% of everything than 0% of nothing, or 100% of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference of what GeForce. But my point is, Xbox is doing a free tier to compete with the cloud gaming area, and yet everyone's dogpiling on Xbox. But GeForce Now has already been doing it for years.
Here's a better thought, right? Here's a better thought. Let's say I don't have a box anymore. Let's say I'm I'm wholeheartedly into the clouds, the cloud gaming, the magic of the cloud.
Right, the refrigerator.
Magic of the cloud.
It's in the cloud.
I'm giving you money every month.
Yep.
The top end thing is I want to be in the cloud, right? Now, day one, I get the game. Broke, buggy, unfinished.
It's happening right now.
Right?
Yep.
What am I paying for? What am I giving you the money every month for?
The convenience.
Right? If my cable company, if I pay for cable and channels randomly don't work, like ESPN doesn't work, all of a sudden the movie channel doesn't come in, like it just goes off, and it goes off for, I don't know, a couple hours, 4 or 5 hours, comes back on, and we're doing intermittent channels the whole fucking time, and you still want me to pay the full price for the cable bill? This is where we want to go?
Well, people have been doing that for years, Sarge. When people had satellite, the dish network, if you put your dish...
Listen, we all know about the dish and the cloud and the fucking tinfoil hats. I got it.
No,
I'm not talking about that.
But it's the same thing. You would have no cable. You couldn't get a signal. You still had to pay your bill every fucking month.
That's ridiculous, bro.
And people did it.
I'm not paying for a service that doesn't work. You want hard cash every month for the possibility of your cloud gaming to work. Oh, I guess I better make sure I get the top tier cloud gaming.
Eric says, you're just adding more context to the video from that you talked about watching this morning. You don't know and have never listened to the consumer base. They're listening to the consumer base, Eric. Just the opposite of what the actual, right? They don't listen to the majority. They listen to the people, right? If someone says, man, I don't want to pay $30 for a thing, someone goes, I would love to pay $30 if they just added Fortnite, right? And they're like, we can make an extra $30 with Fortnite, right? That's what they hear. It's think about corporations talking to your child, right? You're like, don't do that, and then they go do it, right? They're like, don't jump on the couch. They jump on the couch. Don't push the red button. They push the red button, right? That is corporations. They're like, wait a minute, you said don't push the red button. We pushed the red button, right? We lost 50% of our customers. Yeah, but we got $30 out of the ones that are remaining. Right? And they're like, that's a good starting point, right? This is what they do. They're not listening. Look at Battlefield. We're about to talk about Battlefield as well. Battlefield, they're like, we're listening to the community. What community? The community that you took from the other game and brought it in over, and then you're listening to that community so you can make this game into that game? That's the people you're listening to, because you're not listening to the people that actually like Battlefield. Same thing with Xbox. Yeah, they don't listen to the actual fans.
But the people that like Battlefield aren't the number they want. They want a bigger number. They're not selling enough. So if the only way I can sell more Battlefield games is if I bring the COD people over and we sacrifice COD for 1 year, right? If COD sells 15, 18 million copies, 20 million copies normally, and all of a sudden 8 million of that doesn't go there and goes over to Battlefield, it's a wonderful day. COD's still in double digits, and oh my God, Battlefield hit the biggest record of all time. They sold 15 million copies. How incredible is that?
John, what you're missing here is, GeForce Now's Ultimate is $20 a month, but you also have to buy the game. You have to own the game to then pay $20 to use the cloud to stream that game on your shitty PC. The reason that you're using GeForce Now is because your PC is not strong enough, so you're paying for the convenience of $20 after you've already purchased the game. So you have to purchase the game, then pay $20 a month to then stream that game on the cloud. So you can laugh about it, but that's the business model of GeForce Now, right? If you don't have a strong enough PC, you can pay money to use their blades, their servers of the 4080 or the 5090 or whatever the hell they're doing now, and then they can stream that to your thing, but you're paying for the service of the cloud to access your games.
Not to mention the fact that if the price of an actual console hits near $1,000, I would just go build a PC
Yeah.
and pay monthly.
Yeah.
Right? I would put 500 down or 800 down and pay 40, 50 bucks a month to have my own gaming system and then just go to Steam and buy my games. Done deal. I don't got to pay for online. I got myself a hard, and I can get a controller for my PC. You guys are always complaining about mouse and keyboard. You want to be lazy on the couch. You can be lazy on the couch. They got a cable, right? You just plug your computer into the goddamn television. Your television's the goddamn monitor now. So what are we talking about? Why would I give you more money? I don't understand what they want to do.
Here, Krebsy, I'll blow your mind a little bit, right? GeForce Now, he says, GeForce Now is nowhere near as mainstream as Xbox. The Xbox tax shit isn't real. If Apple does something that smaller unknown company has been doing for years, and the shit Apple will. Yeah, well, let me show you, right? GeForce Now has 25 million members. 25 million members. How many Game Pass members were there that everyone's quoted for years and years and years? 25 million, right? And this is for 2023. So GeForce Now has almost as many Game Pass members, okay, using GeForce Now. So don't say it's a small market. It's the same market. It's the 25, it's the cloud market. That's what it is, right? So between GeForce Now and Xbox Game Pass, there's 50 million people playing in the cloud, okay? So stop with this. There's no Xbox tax. There is an Xbox tax. There's a piling on, and I get it. If someone's making fun of someone in school, someone also makes fun of someone in school, and then there's two people making fun of the school, and then there's a bunch of people making fun in school, right? People love dogpiling. This is our nature. We love it. Hey, what's up, fatty? Yeah, what's up, fatso? Whatever. And then people start piling onto stuff. That's what happens. This is reality.
I agree, Windsor. There's no loyalty. What is Microsoft selling you?
They're selling you. They're selling you the convenience of not owning anything and play it anywhere. That's what they're doing. They're selling you a convenience. That's what they're doing. We had a conversation 6 months ago.
I don't call it convenient to give you money every month for a game not to work.
I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is that's what they're doing, right? People try to change the remote control, and the easiest thing is just touching it with your finger. They're like waving it, talking to your television, right? It's convenient to just touch the button. That's the convenience of things, right? Make it simple. Make it easy. Well, I want to play a game. Well, we're making it super simple. You don't have to own the console. You have a TV? Great. You could buy a controller? Done. Right? You could use your phone. Done. You could take your phone that you already have, and there you go. It's a television set, and it's a touch control.
Right. You want me to play my item anywhere? Got that. But you want me to give you money you want me to give you money every month to do so, and the game still doesn't work on day one. I have to wait. So what am I giving you money for? What am I paying you for?
Well, right now you're paying for money for service for convenience. You're paying $70 for a game to be broke, buggy, and unfinished when it comes out, unoptimized, and you're waiting 6 months
Definitely
for that to finish.
Definitely
right, unoptimized. So right now you're paying for stuff that full-fledged games that are coming out that are not ready. You're paying for a service that's not fully capable of doing the stuff that they're telling you it is. You're paying for a system that doesn't do full 4K. Right? You're paying for a lot of stuff that promises, but you're not paying for the actual thing that they actually said they would do.
The subscription model has been poisoned for a long time. We're already realizing it. Like you said before, gaming is just catching up to movies, right? Right? It started doing the same thing that movies started doing. But let's all remember, everyone now looks at it and goes, everybody can't have their own streaming services. It's not viable. It's not financially viable. All these systems now are crumbling, all right? They can't all maintain you buying every individual thing that you want, and they're trying to stack you out and space you out for Hulu and Netflix and Amazon and whatever you're trying to get for your entertainment, right? So now this is going to happen in gaming. We're watching television crash. We're literally watching television crash and burn live.
Right, live.
And you think gaming's going to go the right way if we all do the subscription model? Like, how does this make sense? Right? They all made money when there was a manual, a box, and a disc. Everybody made money. The greatest years of our lives. Everybody was in business. For some reason, when you got rid of the box and the disc, all of a sudden we cannot maintain numbers. It's impossible to maintain numbers after getting rid of 33 1/3 cost. We can't stay open.
Right.
How is that possible?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
If you think I believe
Doesn't make sense.
it makes 0 sense, right? 0 cents.
Real quick, Winzo says 30. The thing is, I just don't get or understand is that fanboys want Xbox gone so bad when little do they know if no competition, then Sony, etc., then charges you even more than what you want to do. Right. They need competition. I don't know why anybody. I don't.
Why I said somebody needs to come out with a system.
Yeah.
Just the system for gamers.
If people look, I don't want Battlefield to bomb. I don't want Call of Duty to bomb. I want both of them to succeed so they drive each other to be better, right? Yeah. I don't want Sony to bomb. I don't want Xbox to bomb. I want them to compete so they become better. If they become complacent,
is the race to mediocrity.
Yes.
Right? They're both
minimal viable product.
Everyone rushes for MVP. That's all they're doing.
Yeah. Who can do the least amount, right? The best I can describe it in a sports analogy is a guy that intercepts the ball, runs 100 yards down the field or 99 yards down the field. He's showboating. He's got his arms out and then drops the ball before he gets to the end zone.
Those motherfuckers. I swear to God, if I watch one more ball drop before the end zone, right?
It's like he ran.
You get benched. You get benched. You don't get to play for the next couple of games. And we're gonna make you run around with a football in your hand.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're gonna run, if you're gonna put the effort in,
you're a moron.
If you're gonna put the effort in, finish the run, get in the end zone. They want to do, hey, what's the least that we can do and still make the most money, right? I mean, that's capitalism. That's the competition. That's the competition, right?
They sit in the room with the cigars and they go, "What's the least amount you've ever done and got the most money from?" Right. They sit there. They discuss this. You think they're in competition? They're in cahoots. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
There's a difference. Because if one would go to $80 because the other one can go to $80, think of it this for a second, guys. If somebody sold a video game for $80, the other guy would go, "Well, I'll just sell mine for $65 and undercut him and make all the money." That's normal. That's a normal business practice.
Right.
He's charging $80. I'm going to undercut the son of a bitch and get more sales. No, they all go, "We're all going to $80." What's the competition? We all decided to go to 80. Now it's 80. Nobody wants to come in lower. Well, we don't want to go lower. That would make sense.
We can't go lower. We'll make less. Right? We'll make less money. We don't want people to like us.
Free market, right?
We don't want people to like us. We want people to give us some money.
Tell me they're not working together without telling me they're not working together. Tell me. Oh, it's easy.
I know they're working together.
$80. That's how that works.
Yeah. If you wanted competition, you would be like, yeah, go ahead, go to 80. I'm going to sell my games for 60 and I'll grow my audience, right? They're like, no, we're all going to 80. Grand Theft Auto, you going to 80? Oh, we're not coming out this year. What the fuck are we going to do? Don't worry. We'll take the bullet. Nintendo comes in.
Outer Worlds 280.
No. Mario Kart, $80.
Wrong one.
Yeah, we got you. Wait, Nintendo's coming into the mix? Right. They're all in the same boat. They're all in the same thing.
But once again, just a quick sidebar. Whatever GTA comes out at, I'm telling you this right now, whatever number it comes out at is still going to ruin everybody else, right? Because if GTA look, it's very simple. If GTA comes out at 100, right, you can't sell Madden for 90.
No,
right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So if
that's the same thing people are complaining about Silksong,
right? If this is the bar for 100, then you better damn well your game's 60 now. Right?
Yeah.
Your game is 60. You can't tell me that piece of shit that just came out is $90 game when GTA is 100. Get the fuck out of here. No shot, bro. Right? No shot.
Todd says Xbox. Where is it? It says, what's going on, Todd? Xbox will open the doors for Sony to increase their. Stop it. They're not opening the doors. Yeah. Nintendo opened the doors. Nintendo's like, we're charging $500 for our handheld device, and we're charging $80 for our first-party titles. They're like, bravo, Nintendo. Beautiful move. We can
now we can do it.
Yeah. Now we're gonna do it because the market, the macro market conditions. That's what it is. It's not Xbox that was raising the price. Nintendo shot the first shot. They're like, don't worry, guys. We got it.
Can we? You think we can?
Yeah. Of course they can.
They probably once again, guys in the room. Hey, how much you want to bet I can get them to pay $80 for a game? All right. How much? Oh, my third yacht. I'll put my third yacht up. Yeah, my third yacht. I bet my third yacht that they can get them to pay $80 for a game. What even better? $80 for a game they've already played. Right. $80 for a game they've already played.
That's it. That's exactly right. All right. So speaking of in cahoots, okay, or in competition, I thought this was very, very odd. Okay. So there's a video that someone created. Okay. We watched it on our morning show on the Daily Grind this morning. Okay.
Did you guys watch?
It's about Arc Raiders. Okay. Arc Raiders, okay, got silenced inside the EA chat. So two guys were hyped up about Battlefield 6. They were talking about it and they were going back and forth in their own chat and decided that, hey, we're excited for Arc Raiders.
What system were they using?
They were using EA. They were using EA's app. Okay, inside of EA's app. Okay. So while they were talking about in their own chat room or whatever, they're like, "Hey man, I'm really excited." Well, not their own chat room, but the forum, whatever, right? So like, "Hey man, I'm really excited about Arc Raiders," and all of a sudden, it wouldn't say Arc Raiders. It showed this instead, right? So it just showed Arc Raiders. Now this is a joke. This is a perfect marketing thing that Arc Raiders is doing. Okay, so inside this video, the guy shows. He tests it himself. He goes into EA's app. He types in Battlefront or Battlefield. He types in Call of Duty. He types in Fortnite. He types in all these other games, and they all show up in the chat. But he types in Arc Raiders, and he types in Arc Raiders not once, but he types it, where Arc Raiders is together as one word. He types it in different ways. It all comes out as asterisks, right? Arc Raiders. So then it gets around the internet. Okay, it gets around the internet, and the internet starts to talk about this, and all of a sudden, the next day, they fix it. EA fixes it, where Arc Raiders is now able to be said inside of their chat. Okay, so now this is coming from the other day, right? This is from October 6th, 2 days ago. Arc Raiders comes out and says we're still on track to release Arc Raiders on October 30th. Now, obviously, it doesn't say Arc Raiders; it just says asterisk, 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 right? So they've gone on for the joke because EA, it's around. People know that they shuttered them, so now they did the marketing like this. I think this is brilliant. But my question this morning was: do you think this was EA that had a problem because Soderlund left? Okay, the other DICE guys left. There was like 7 of them that left the company 4 years ago. This is why Battlefield 2042 sucked. Okay, they jumped ship after Battlefield 5. They said we're gone. 2042 sucked. They went to go start their own Embark Studios that made the finals, and now they're making Arc Raiders. Do we think that EA had, a problem and they're just angry at these guys for leaving? Or, I gave 2 options. Or do you think that they're buddy-buddy, right? And this is all part of because they're all in the same industry. They're all part of the...
It's just a punch to the arm.
So
it's like a corporate punch to the arm.
So, but what I'm saying is they always tried to beat Call of Duty, and Call of Duty they could never beat. EA could never beat Call of Duty. This is the closest they have right now with Battlefield 6.
Right now, this will be the closest they've ever come.
Closest they've ever come to Call of Duty. Okay, besides Battlefield 3.
We'll know tomorrow.
Right.
We'll know after this weekend.
Right. But Arc Raiders also comes out right before. It's the 1-2 punch. It's what EA tried to do with Titanfall, right? EA, Titanfall, and then Call of Duty, and they failed. And Soderlund and them were over there, even though it was Respawn, but they were with DICE when they did the Battlefield. Now they have their own studio. Arc Raiders is filling in that gap between Battlefield and Call of Duty. Do you think they're working together to try to steal a little bit of the thunder from Call of Duty? Because you could see it right now in the media, the way people are talking down on Call of Duty, the way they're hyping up Battlefield 6, the way they're hyping up Arc Raiders.
But the concentrated, but don't you realize that you've been around long enough? You should be able to see the concentrated effort. Do you see it? Like, I know a lot of people don't pay attention because you listen to what the news says and we move on with our day.
Yeah.
But you realize that there's a concentrated effort to downplay COD and to build up Battlefield.
Sure. It's good for the industry.
It's been like this now for a good 3 to 4 months now. They've been slowly building this up, and all the media guys are behind it. Because they want to put down COD, they want to pick up Battlefield because
more clicks,
probably because EA needs it. Like EA needs it badly.
We were just talking, right? Winzo said you need competition, right? So the industry's like, this is good for all of us if we let Battlefield kind of enter the field, like enter the battlefield with Call of Duty.
Well, because they're trying to make Battlefield a platform. They're not trying to
an actual rival to Call of Duty.
Right. So there's several things on the hook here. I believe that they've misspent the loyalty of the COD base. right? I think it's a mix of aging out.
Yeah.
It's a mix of you've changed your brand of what COD actually is.
Went
Right?
a little too far. Went a little too far.
You got greedy because you wanted to have the adult version of Fortnite, and so you decided you were going to sacrifice COD to do so. And in doing so, you fucked up a little bit because people are starting to walk away because they're tired of looking at the clown show. We play military shooters because we want to be military shooters.
Yeah,
we don't want to. We don't right. We don't want to like the clown show of Fortnite. The adults want to play the military shooter.
Correct.
Right. So if this is the year where we downplay COD, we upplay Battlefield, like this might be the first time that Battlefield gets double digits in quite a while.
Yeah, the last time. Well, Battlefield 1 got double digits, but it got double digits of players, not sales. The last time they had double-digit sales was Battlefield 4. 3 and 4 had 17 million and 14 million, respectively.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think this is, and in order to talk to your higher ups and say you want more money for this specific IP, you have to show that the IP that you're going to release is popular enough for us to warrant giving you more money. They're probably saying to themselves, we want to make Battlefield into a platform, not just the game. Well, what do you mean? Well, we want to make it like a Fortnite or a COD and not just make it a release game every 4 years. We want to make it a release game every year. And I said this every year, like COD. If you turn Battlefield into COD, then I'll find something else, right? But I know that's the goal.
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah.
And so you put as much stuff into this pot as possible, dude. Battle royales, multiple gameplays. How the game works. You put all these other things inside. It's COD maps. You want to get as many people as possible. There is no way they were going to make Battlefield into a COD platform without pulling COD people over, because we already know the population base of Battlefield, 10 million max.
Well, on top of that, they also look at what everyone's doing with Battlefield 6. Oh, they're back. Like Battlefield 2042 was so bad, right? That people forget how bad Battlefield 5 was, right? 2042 was the main focus.
All they had to do was fix it.
No, I know.
He just gave up on it.
But what I'm saying is Call of Duty, if it has an off year, and then all of a sudden next Call of Duty comes back, they're back, right? It's like this. It's this tale of now they're down. Now they're coming back.
That's what I'm saying. You think they're worried about what's happening to COD right now? You think because in a month from now, when COD releases, you think that they're going to be really pissed off that they undersold COD? Mission accomplished. If it goes the way they want, COD goes down about 40%, and they recoup it next year when they resell another COD. It's just this cycle. It's just this one. It's just this one.
Look, I like talking about stuff like this because I like thinking this way because I understand how businesses think. What about if you make a game where it's not so good that you're getting the $80, but you really don't want them to pay the $80? You really want them to get in on the subscription service. Hence why they package Call of Duty in with Ultimate, right? Because if everyone's talking how bad Call of Duty is, and they're like, well, you know what? I don't want to spend the $80 on Call of Duty, but you know what? I'm going to get Game Pass Ultimate just so I can see what it is. I'll play the campaign, and once the campaign's done, I'll put it down. If I like it, maybe I'll buy the game. You see what I'm saying? So now what they've done is people are like, I heard Call of Duty is not great, but they need the Call of Duty. They need to play that game. They want to play that game, but they don't want to spend the $80. So instead, they pay $30 to get in, to try the game out and go, oh, you know what? It's actually not that bad. Either they forget to keep, and they keep paying for the $30, or they go, okay, I played it. I liked it. It's a demo, basically. Now I'm gonna go play. They're doing a beta right now for Call of Duty. It's not doing very hot, but again, remember, people are like, I don't want to pay the full price, but I'll pay a smaller fee to try it out. They might get that $30 for the month, and then they go pay for it. Well, now they just made $30 extra for that one game because you see what I'm saying?
But they're cannibalizing their own population.
Are they though?
You have Warzone and you have COD.
Oh yeah, you're talking about but that's still, they're still making money from the same player base because it's free to play for Warzone, okay? But they're making them off microtransactions. That's the free sample, right? That's the free sample. Taste this. Oh, I like Warzone. Maybe I'll play Call of Duty. That's what the Battle Royale's for, right? Fortnite Battle Royale is trying to sell you all the microtransactions and save the world. Warzone is selling you all the microtransactions, the Beavis and Buttheads, the Godzilla, the Monkey Glove, and they're also, hey, if you like this, you might like to buy the full-fledged game. That's just another platform for them to go, I heard Call of Duty's bad this year. I don't want to spend the $80. I'll try it on Game Pass first. They're in on Game Pass. They get in on Game Pass to try it.
I don't think anyone gives a shit about the demo, and I think they made a mistake by doing the demo when Battlefield releases because they're all concentrating on Battlefield right now. That's all they care about. That's all the gamers care about right now is in less
Battlefield
than
6.
12 hours, Battlefield 6 out. I'm not
Right.
worried about COD demo.
Yeah, what have you done for me lately? That's what it is, right? COD right now is not getting very good because
Right.
people know what
And-
COD is.
And whether or not Battlefield does good or not in the next month, you'll know whether or not all of a sudden it goes, oh, COD's out. Let's go play COD. Right? How many games do you think you're playing? How many people do you think you encapsulate by releasing a game, and how long do you think you're going to keep them for? Right? You'll have COD numbers in the beginning of Battlefield's release if it's good and it's done well. But when COD comes out, what happens? Does your population base just go back down to what the population of Battlefield people actually are?
But does it matter
And
at
if
that point?
And if that happens, does the whole meaning of your infrastructure of your game change where bots are everywhere? You're filling up.
Well, they are. Battlefield's got bots.
And just fill of bots.
Fortnite does it. Call of Duty does it. All of these companies do it because, and then when a new battle pass comes out or a new microtransaction cosmetic comes out, guess what? All of a sudden you're in the match and there's people wearing that new skin. If it's real or not, it might be a bot, but they're advertising the new skin. You're like, oh, that looks pretty cool. It's what it is.
I know.
Right? So Battlefield, let's go over to this. We'll switch over to Battlefield now. Battlefield 6 lead oozes confidence by confirming that the servers should be ready for its release on Friday. Now, tomorrow is...
Anybody want to take bets? Servers crash? Anybody want to take that bet?
How many yachts you guys want to put up, right? Like, so the whole world gets to play this game at the exact same time.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. There's been very few.
They're not even going to stagger it from time zones.
No staggering. Everyone comes out at the same time.
New Zealand gets it.
Everyone gets
noon tomorrow. The rest of the world, like right now, I probably get it in 3 hours or 4 hours.
It's 8. I think it's 8 o'clock. Is it tonight or tomorrow? It's tomorrow night. So it will be October 11th in New Zealand when they get it at noon or whatever, and it'll be on the 10th. I think at like 8 a.m. I think it is, or 10 a.m.
I don't believe that for a second, Gator. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Your own persistent server? Do you believe that?
I still can't believe every owner on Battlefield 6 will get their own persistent server. Yeah, if you buy the game, you get your persistent server to do. Well, do you know why? Because if you have your own server, they want you to use Portal. Because if you didn't have your own server, you wouldn't use Portal, and they don't want to use They don't want to use up the stuff, so they want to make sure that you use Portal. Right? This is the problem that I see. Jack Frag, we were watching his video earlier today, and he's like, "Oh, you have to level up all your guns and." The smaller maps people are going to use. I'm like, no, they're not. They're going to go make their own smaller map in Portal.
Like 3 guys in a closet with a car.
Yeah, and there's right. It's exactly right. They're going to make the Destiny loot cave inside of Portal just so they can level up the guns, level up their XP because they get XP, right? And then people are like, well, maybe they'll give less XP for the bots that you shoot. It doesn't fucking matter. They'll take a rubber band and put it around the controller instead of sit in the closet and then shoot the thing. Just if they get a fraction of the XP, they're still getting XP. They're like, yeah, this is faster than playing a game where I'm getting my ass kicked.
They just grenade spam next to an ammo crate. Just put the controller down.
Right. Path of least resistance is what's going to happen, right? So 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. So, so tomorrow morning, all of this is going. I just think it's funny that this right here
should be
ready.
Not a shot.
It should be ready.
Not a shot.
Like I hope the best for everybody.
If that's possible, if that actually works, then apparently they've been holding out on us. They've been holding out on us for forever. You're telling me you have servers for everybody now. Before it was servers are expensive. We just can't have servers. Can we? What was the biggest complaint in Battlefield? Can we get our own servers, please? Can we get our own servers? And they're like, can't do it. It's too expensive. It's impossible. It's too much money. We can't have everybody having their own server. What? Everybody gets their own server now? What is it? Christmas? And Oprah's in charge? What are we talking about? Maybe.
This is why EA's in $20 billion debt now. Maybe they bought a bunch of servers, right? They bought a bunch of servers, so when the game goes online tomorrow, no one has a problem. Look, I hope in Magical Land that someone took a wish of their birthday cake and went, I hope I have a server that runs tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully it works out, and tomorrow everyone has a fantastic time getting into the servers. There's no long queues. Everything's running fine. But a small part of me, Sarge, I want to see it burn. I want to see it just lock up.
I mean, what do you want?
I want to see the articles written of, well, bunch it in with the rest of them. The performance is absolute shit.
So they're gonna have to say that a server building caught fire somewhere, so it has to be someplace centralized. So let's say maybe like Georgia, the server building in Georgia had a malfunction. We're sorry. We'll get the long apology. The server building crashed. And you get the little thing.
El Niño says, yes, we know. Hey, look, I'm being honest, right? A part of me wants to do this because, look, I have a video out there. As I've said, for the last 15 years, servers on day one have sucked balls.
Every time.
Even for the good ones. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, 18 months. 18 months it took for Battlefield 3, 26 months for Battlefield 4. 26 months, okay, to fix the game. Right?
So where are they getting these servers from? Are they from Jesus? Are they getting Jesus servers?
They asked for every birthday, they've asked for a new server, right? So hopefully, here's the next thing. EA confirms that Battlefield 6 can reach up to 120 frames per second on console. Okay. So an email.
Let's go.
An email from EA confirms that Battlefield 6 will reach up
on Monday at 2 a.m. and it's you versus all bots. 120 frames, awesome.
Will reach up to 120 frames per second on console through performance mode, and also talks about post-launch content, which includes convert operations. Battlefield 6 will also set the release on October 10th, and looks like the game is set to be one of the biggest titles of the year, which is great. Right? Analysts also have predicted that the game will be close to 5 million copies in the first week, and Black Ops 7's beta has already fallen short in front of Battlefield 6's beta. We have now been informed about some Battlefield 6 post-launch content and the console perform details. Battlefield can reach up to 120 frames per second on console through performance mode. It says built for consoles and PCs, outlining that the various features in the first one talks about the enhanced crossplay between platforms. The second feature discusses quality and performance modes, which also state up to 120 frames per second on the, I forgot to say up to. It's the up to, right? It used to be on the box, up to 120 frames per second, high fidelity visuals. Okay. And the last feature discusses of the PlayStation 5 Pro enhancement, which also offer higher frame rates and resolution. So, look, I would love if this comes out, and again, you guys get it at the 120 frames, 4K, 1080p, works fine, no server issues. Everyone, I hope a miracle happens tomorrow.
We're in the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah, I really do.
They just basically advertise the Goldilocks zone where everyone gets a server. They all run well, 120 frames per second, crossplay enabled. Awesome. I can't wait. I'm gonna put the phone next to my bed, and I'm gonna wait for the first. I'm gonna put my notifications on for all the major guys who play early, and I'm gonna see who the first one comes in. I want to see who the first one comes in.
Jod says there is no frame gen or DLSS for it. That's true. So that could be a major help. Look, like I said, I hope it works out. Right. That's not my biggest fear, by the way, because I just assume it was going to burn just like every other one for the last 15 years.
My fear is the Battle Royale does well and Battlefield dies.
That's my biggest fear. Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. So also, Battlefield, after making closed weapons almost invisible, okay, because remember they hit it on the second page or whatever, so you couldn't do it, right?
No one cares because you're just trying to play the game.
Right. So in Battlefield 6 beta, DICE says that open weapons is the right path forward because it was more popular.
That's incorrect. You hit it from everybody, and you want to sell skins. We already know.
They did other play tests after the fact, right? It says, now just days from launch, Battlefield Studio has published a new blog outlining changes at Battlefield 6 since August open beta. Movement is more responsive, recoils increase, and resembles past games, and those unpopular rush map layouts have received a second pass. You mean completed, right? So we'll see. I looked at some of the maps, and they look like they're still going to have problems, but we'll see when the game comes out. I'll watch a lot of stuff. So it's good news all around, unless you're one of the many Battlefield 6 beta players who didn't like the new open weapons default, which is basically Battlefield fans to non-Battlefield fans, right? Closed weapons, Battlefield elites and veterans like the closed weapon stuff, right? Everybody else is like open weapons. And I told you this from the beginning. They're pushing the open weapons because that's how they're going to make the microtransactions. Because if you just like playing Recon, it's a closed class, and a cool assault rifle comes out, you can't use it because you're a closed class. how are they going to sell this? So they want to keep it open. So they just tell you that the open class is more popular because they say so, right? So a good chunk of today's blog was also post-mortem of players' behavior in the open beta, and the result of exactly 92,351,578 total hours played when compared to open versus closed playlists. DICE says that the class pick rates were mostly identical. Okay, in a closed weapon, aka class locked weapons,
identical because it's a test and people want to try out the different classes. That's why it's equal.
Right. Matches went on just a tad longer on average, which led to 2 to 3% increase in reviews. Okay, as the weapon usage, more players also played non-signature weapons in open weapon playlists. However, recon players will favored sniper rifles over other weapons, and their pick rate was identical between both playlist types. Okay, well that's because you're a recon. Like if you're a sniper player, you wouldn't take an AK-47 and sit in the back of the fucking map. You're going to pick a recoil. Like, you're going to pick a sniper rifle if you're a recon. Like, what are we talking about here? Anyway, there's also not a single dominant weapon archetype. They observed the consistent and well-distributed pick rate between them. DICE says that the balance shows that even if the different playlist types, players explored a wide variety of options without one class standing out. Yeah, because it's a beta, and people were testing stuff out. Like, hello?
Well,
hello, McFly.
The reason, and they keep forgetting that they forget to mention this every time. The reason why the gun system worked the way it did, it was a natural pause in time for people who played and people who were new. Everybody started off with technically the shittier weapons because that's how they felt, right? You had a shittier weapon, and then as you killed guys, you unlocked the attachments for that gun, which made the gun better. And then once you unlocked all the attachments for the shitty gun that you had to use because that's the only gun you had, then another gun would open up and then you would repeat the process, right? So now I'm doing a PPH and somebody's on like a Mac 10. That's how it was. And then when you're done with the PPS, you go on to the next gun. That's how it was. So when you got killed by people, you used to look at the kill thing. The guy who killed you, and they still, even back in Battlefield 3, they would show you the gun they killed you with. So you would see a bunch of the same guns killing you because that's what everybody was using. The whole point was to get good with the gun, get better attachments for the gun, and then at the end, when you unlock the next weapon, you say to yourself, well, do I want to keep using the gun that I've now maxed out, or do I want to go to the next gun? That's how progression worked to keep you in the game. Well, that's how it worked.
Well, now people are going to run around and they're going to have the med pack with the sniper rifle, right? It's going to be open, and people are going to use a mixed match. You're not going to see anyone use two of the classes, right? It'll be like it'll be support and engineer. That's what everyone will use in the open class once the game comes out. They'll try everything else, but they'll only use the engineer because of obviously he's more OP with the rockets and whatnot.
You want tanks to be dead immediately.
Right.
No one cares about reviving because it's all COD. It's a COD population.
They'll just have their own med pack.
Support and an engineer. Done deal.
That's it. You don't need the assault. You don't need recon. Right. So we'll see what happens with that. Here's another.
This will be great, bro. I can't wait to see what happens.
Here's another article that I don't understand this. I don't know how many people they polled.
This is the shenanigan article of the night.
Yeah, I don't know how many people they polled, but they said only 12% of Battlefield 6 players give a damn about the new portal mode. Okay. My bigger concern here, Sarge, is that by order of most popular to least popular, here are the results at the poll, right? So an email circulated by Electronic Arts and a poll within revealed a range of 4 items that players had to vote on to determine which elements of Battlefield 6 they're most looking forward to. So the ones that are most looking forward to is a tactical destruction of 39%, which means 61% of the people don't give a shit about what Battlefield basically is, which is fully destructible environment, open world things, right? 61% don't give a shit.
No.
Okay.
That's the whole 100% division. That's what that is.
I understand that. 61% don't give a shit about the tactical destruction. Okay. Then return of campaign, 70% of the people don't give a shit about basically the campaign. Only 30% care about the campaign. Then you have maps, modes, and weapons. We're talking about, what's that, 82%? Right? 82% of the population doesn't care about the maps.
That's not what that is. That's not what that is. It's not what that is. That number right there equals 100.
I understand that. The people that voted, The people that voted, the people that voted.
the people that are outside tactical destruction are in the other categories.
I understand that. No, I'm not. I'm not looking at the wrong way. They're putting it in priority of what they like the best, right? From the 1,000 people got voted, right?
And
1,000 people have voted.
39%
of them like the tactical destruction,
Yes.
right? Then it goes to, I know what I'm talking about. The 30%, the maps and modes, right? So the people that
we don't know the sample size.
wait, we don't know the sample size. That's the problem. I said that right off the bat, Wolverine. I said we don't know the actual sample size. Okay,
this could be 50 people. Yeah,
right. So let's say it's 1 million people. Okay, majority of the people
that would be a better sample size.
Right. The majority of the people don't care about the tactical destruction. The majority of the people don't care about the return to the campaign. The majority of the people don't care about maps or modes or things, right? So all the people that did this, only 39% care about the destruction, and only 12% of the people actually care about Portal, which is funny because I think that number is going to go up because once they figure out that they all can make their own map and they all can level up with XP, and they'll be like, oh, this is much easier than going in and only getting 5 kills or 10 kills because they keep getting sniped because all the glints and stuff like that. They'll be like, I'll just go make my own thing.
It looks like the paparazzi.
Right. And they'll just go level up their guns and go level up their characters with inside that.
You do understand, though, that the glint was supposed to be there for people who just look down the sights for an hour. Like, it's not meant to be as soon as I look down the scope, the glint is there. That's not what it was supposed to be.
Right. Well, it's supposed to detect where they right.
Right. The glint was supposed to be for guys who just are looking down scope the entire time and just scanning the world. Like, that was the glint after if you were there for too long. Not this paparazzi thing where I'm watching, I come around the corner and they're just all I see is glints.
Yep. Exactly, Wolverine. Path of least resistance.
100%.
John, thank you very much. Big member, appreciate that.
100%.
Yeah, I just find it funny that
this is a shit poll, by the way.
Yeah, I wish they would tell you, like, hey, we surveyed this many people.
If you don't tell me how many people you surveyed, I don't want to hear about your poll.
I have a question. Anybody in chat?
A proper sample size at minimum.
Did anybody in chat take the survey?
Okay.
Anybody in chat take the survey? I didn't get the survey. I put 42 hours into the beta. I didn't get a survey. They didn't ask me. I didn't get to do a vote. So did anybody in chat, did they get a survey? I didn't get a survey. Maybe it's in my spam folder. All right, so there's that. I just think it's funny. What time is it? We got 10 minutes. What do I want to pick? What do I want to pick? We got that. We got, well, I guess we could, an analyst, right? An analyst talking about EA, since we're talking about Battlefield, we'll go to EA here. EA may sell BioWare and DICE or close other studios, says analyst. This is good news, right? They got bought out for $55 billion.
Says analyst. So what do? Take EA's budget, do the numbers himself, and then go, I would get rid of these people. And then that's the article he wrote?
Yeah, so it says, near the end of September, EA disclosed a $55 billion deal to take the third-party video game publisher to private under a new ownership group, including... Yeah, do they add Jared Kushner? Of course they do. Instead of just saying Infinity Group, they're like, Jared Kushner's Infinity Group. So according to the report, Polygon, multiple analysts believe that BioWare is a prime candidate to be sold because of the studio's struggles over the last decade. Who do they sell to, Sarge? Who picks up? This could be...
Who picks up BioWare?
Yeah, who picks up BioWare? I think Sony could pick them up because Sony's looking for IPs. They're looking for IPs.
I know, but does Sony have enough capital to do that right now?
That's the question.
I don't think they do.
Right? I think BioWare gets picked up by Microsoft and then gets thrown onto Game Pass. Okay, so it says BioWare, also Dragon Age Veilguard, fell far below the EA's expectations. The studio was also hit by... What's that?
Let's put it this way. If EA needs to make some quick cash and they want to sell BioWare because it's a woke mess, I think the person that most likely would pick it up would probably be Sony. But there might be another studio in the background that would.
Yo, you know who could pick him up? I'm gonna throw a ball out there. What about if like Netflix picks up BioWare?
No, they don't even know what to do with them.
Netflix, no, but listen, Netflix picks them up because if they own BioWare,
that'd be like a Virgin picking up a Virgin. They wouldn't even know what to do with each other.
No, but they still let them go. They still have the gaming. They still put it out on all systems. But then they own the rights to BioWare and Mass Effect. And then Netflix can put Mass Effect as a movie on Netflix.
But they would still need a dev team that knows what they were doing.
Well, they have a dev team. It's still BioWare.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
Well,
my
that's
point.
true. That's true.
my
But that's not
point.
because of Netflix. That's because of BioWare,
That's my point.
right? So it says here, EA is currently throwing a promotional muscle behind Battlefield 6 and the first-person shooter competing with Activision's Call of Duty franchise. While that may also mean DICE, the developer of the game's multiplayer mode, is safe from being sold at the moment. Analysts suggest that they should or could change if Battlefield 6 underperforms. Uh-oh. So, obviously, if you're not making a good enough money, EA's like, get the hell out of here. We're going to sell you. What would happen? Oh, my God. What if? Let's do a Marvel what if, Sarge. Let's say EA or DICE underperforms for Battlefield. They sell off the company. Microsoft picks up EA or DICE, and now they own Call of Duty and DICE. That's a monopoly. I don't think they would let the sale go through, right? Owning the two biggest franchises of a first-person shooter game.
I don't even think they would say no to that. I'll be honest.
You don't think they would say no to that? You think they would let it go through?
Yeah, because the bankers don't know what those games mean. Like they don't. It would be like saying Bank of America trying to buy out Chase, but like someone who doesn't understand banks wouldn't understand what that meant. It's the same thing. Like they're the two main titles, but they're just video games. Some guys just saying it's just video games, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because if EA is making DICE or Battlefield into a platform, and it underperforms, that platform would be 100% perfect for the cloud/subscription model going on to stuff like that, because it's just they just keep adding to it, right? It's basically like a first-person MMO. Do you know what I mean? Because you're constantly doing season passes and different things. You're just constantly putting it up there. So you would buy the game, but you need to pay for online. So you're paying the $10 a month just to play the online. It even says on the box of Battlefield on the Xbox, it says you need Xbox, Game Pass, whatever, to play.
What I don't understand is they are in the middle of trying to make the new Mass Effect. They're already making Mass Effect. So why would this even be a discussion that they would want to sell an IP that they're in the middle of making a game?
Because they don't know if it's going to sell because of the damage.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows if the game is going to sell or not. That's the whole point of why the business is the way it is, right? They want as little risk as possible. So now anytime is any kind of risk at all, everyone just throws them out the window. That's what happens now. How can you build a team if you keep firing everybody?
Oh, that's true, Krebsy. That's true. Does DICE own Battlefield? That's very true. I don't know. Maybe they fight for it to take it with them. Sort of like Destiny with Halo or with that. That's actually a good idea. Let me see. Does DICE own it? I don't know. Or does EA own them? If DICE owns Battlefield, does DICE own Battlefield?
I'm telling you, we need another party to come in and just make a console a console for gamers to play games.
Yes, DICE owns Battlefield. So there you go. I'm correct. Didn't know I was correct, but DICE owns Battlefield. So there you go.
We'll see. Tomorrow's gonna be
DICE owns Battlefield franchise, but they are operated under the umbrella of Electronic Arts.
Did you notice that this game is being released on the weekend on purpose instead of released on a Tuesday?
Oh, of course, because they want the biggest swath of people to play it right away instead of trickling to the weekend.
That's correct.
Yeah, that gives them the best shot.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's known.
Well, if that's the case, bro, if that's the case, then why don't they all release on a Friday? If you want the best life for your game, why don't all games release on the weekend? Why do they release on Tuesday? Why this one?
Well, I guess it would have to matter what type of game it is to release on a Friday or a Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know why they were always released on a Tuesday. It never really made sense to me. More days, I guess, because of the week. You get more days before the week.
I don't know.
Publisher and owned are different things. Yeah, DICE. Look, I'll bring it back up. Swedish developer DICE owns Battlefield franchise, but they operate under the umbrella of Electronic Arts. The game's publisher, while DICE is
so EA owns the license because
DICE
EA
created the original
DICE.
Battlefield games. DICE is the original Battlefield games and remains the primary developer under EA's owned studio, right? So EA owns the studio of DICE, but DICE owns Battlefield.
You're never going to see those numbers again, Gator. Those fictitious numbers, they thought that they were going to last forever. That's how dumb they are.
Now, obviously,
the pandemic numbers were going to be the numbers forever. They're so stupid.
What do you mean? Who owns Battlefield? It says DICE own Battlefield. I type in the search. It says, yes, Swedish developer DICE owns the Battlefield franchise. Right, who owns? Okay. Electronic Arts owns the Battlefield franchise, with DICE, the developer, also being owned by EA. EA is currently in the process of being sold. Right, so owns the Battlefield franchise with DICE, the developer. DICE is the developer that owns the franchise, but they own DICE. It's the same. EA owns the franchise of Battlefield because they own DICE, but DICE is the owners of Battlefield. So if DICE gets sold, they take Battlefield with them, unless the contract says, we're taking Battlefield from you and we'll pay you for it, and DICE doesn't do anything. No, DICE is not the publisher. EA is the publisher.
Yes.
EA is the publisher. If DICE was the publisher, then stop. EA is the publisher. DICE is the studio that creates it. They're the developers. They're not publishing it. EA publishes it. That's why it says EA Games in front of the Battlefield series. One's the publisher, one is the owner of the franchise. EA owns DICE. DICE owns Battlefield. EA owns Battlefield because they own DICE. Yes, thank you. Yes, DICE owns Battlefield and the Frostbite engine.
Well, tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. We're gonna see what happens tomorrow.
Well, I hope the servers don't melt. Your own personal servers don't melt. Well, actually, the portal's not going to be a popular thing.
I mean,
this weekend.
Wouldn't they just make part of your own hard drive the server? Isn't that what they're gonna do?
Say again?
Wouldn't they just make part of your own hard drive the server? I don't think that you're getting your own server somewhere. That doesn't make for everyone to have their own server. It doesn't.
Well, they said you can have it active even if you're not playing. Is what they said in that video that we watched last week or 2 weeks ago. Right. So, like, if you're not online, but you created a map, your map is on the server so people can play it.
But that would mean it's a perpetual server.
Correct. It's a perpetual server. It's not on your.
How is that going to work? Once again, I was told numerous times that we can't get our own servers. It's too much money. Now you're telling me everybody who gets Battlefield 6 gets their own server.
For Portal, yeah.
It can't be this way. It can't be both ways. You can't tell me it's too expensive to get a server and now everybody gets a server. This doesn't make sense.
All right, let's see. I don't think I have any other stories that we're going to talk about. Netflix has got. We brought up the Amazon last week with Luna. This week, Netflix's new batch of games can be played straight off your television set, no controller required. Again, this just shows that what they're going towards, right? Amazon's doing the gameplay starting, I think, in November. You can play board games and stuff through your television set, and now Netflix is doing the exact same thing with party stuff. So again, the industry knows something that's going on, and apparently a lot of people want to play board games on their television sets with their family
instead of playing a board game. I got it.
Instead of actually playing a board game on the table. Now
away from the screen.
Yeah. So 5 games are being added to the games tab on Netflix, including Lego Party, Boggle Party, Pictionary, Game Night, Tetris, Time Warp, and Party Crashers. So Netflix is getting in on the board game scene as well.
I can't wait to see tomorrow. It's gonna be so exciting to watch what's gonna happen.
I think that's it. So let's put the banner up for if you guys have a QA question, go ahead and put that in the comment section. We'll mark it, and then we'll do the Q&A. Eric says, so does Bungie own DICE? Why would Bungie own DICE? You mean Destiny? Well, they don't anymore.
It depends what's in the contract, Krebsy. If yes, you would own anything that the other person does own if you acquired them. That's correct. Now, do they if they happen to leave, does it go with them? Or is it part of the contract that it stays? It's all part of the contract.
Which I said. It all depends on what it is. Could they sell it with the thing? Sure. Maybe they leave and say, well, we're taking the franchise. And they're like, no, you're not. Whatever it is.
Right, because we've heard that story before.
Yeah. That's
where they want to leave it. Then it's like you can't. You're not.
yeah.
you're not
Bungie wanted to
taking
take Halo. Microsoft's like, you're not taking Halo. They're like, well, we could take Destiny. Can we have Destiny? They're like, yeah, you can have Destiny because they came up with it while they were working with Microsoft.
right.
And you sign contracts and all the stuff that
And
says
that's a
anything
whole
you
other-
come up with while you're working for our company, we own. Right?
Yeah, and I think the Destiny thing is they're at the lowest they've ever been. Is from the
Yeah,
last
numbers are at the
time.
lowest. It's below like 90,000 now.
Yeah.
And they're also
Well,
backtracking on a couple things. Walk back here. Actually, I got this. We'll talk about that while we're waiting for questions to come in. Destiny 2 walk back controversial decisions with two major changes in Renegades after player backlash. Okay, so in a surprising but welcome news, Bungie has reversed two big changes in Destiny. Two players frustrated ahead of the next expansion, Renegades. This update is related to how power levels and unstable cores work. Two systems that have become a central part of progression in the game. Originally, Bungie had said that the Renegade launch on December 2nd, seasonal power would reset back to 200, and all progress made above would be wiped out. It must be power creep, bro. Must be power creep. Remember, they have to reset it because there's just too much in the game and they do it over and over again. But now they don't have to because now they figured a way out. The future. Also said unstable cores and the key resources used in infusing gear above 200 power wouldn't carry over to the next season. So it says it didn't sit well with a lot of players who felt like the time grinding would be a waste in a few months. That's correct. Respect the player's time.
That's right.
All right, so Bungie reversed the Destiny 2's power level and unstable core resets in Renegades. Thankfully, that's no longer the case. Earlier today, the official Destiny 2 team account had announced that these decisions have been changed based on the community feedback. The post confirms that 3 major changes, 2 of Renegades and 1 coming next week. Here's the thing. I think the only reason they listen to the community is because the numbers are fucking dramatically going down. Because if the numbers were still up here, stay on course. Right, but because the numbers are dipping, they're like, maybe we should do something. Otherwise, we're going to lose a lot of the player base. Right. So seasonal power cores will not reset in season 28. Okay, unstable cores will now carry over. A 300 power cash up booster is coming next week. Do you have to pay for that, chat? Do you have to pay for that booster?
300 power catch up boost.
Do you have to pay for that?
Jesus,
is that a pay for thing or is that a free thing that they give you?
300 power catch up. That's a big jump, man.
All right, so power reset removed from Renegades instead of being knocked back down to 200 power. A start of Renegades players will now keep their power they've earned this season. This gives players a reason to keep grinding, now knowing that the effort won't be undone.
I wonder if they felt that way back in the past, or where they would be. If
Nope, because the number was like this. They didn't care. They're like, yeah, go ahead, leave. There's 5 million people playing. We don't care, right? So there you go. All right, we got a couple questions, a couple cues. All right, get your questions in. Otherwise, we'll just answer I think we have 4 as of right now. Let's see. Aku says both Frostbite and Battlefield IPs are owned by EA. DICE developers for it now. They don't have the rights for the IP anymore. The whole expansion is a dark meme. Electronic Arts, as the publisher and parent company, EA holds the intellectual property rights to Battlefield series from Google. So, again, because they own DICE, they own the intellectual property, right?
Oh,
So
the worst contract ever.
If they sell, think about this. In a sale, what would they sell if DICE left? If they were selling DICE in our what if moment, what money would they get if they just sold the studio with no IPs?
Well, DICE
Go
would have
ahead.
to DICE would have to make up another game.
Right. So
DICE
what are
would-
you paying?
DICE would
I'll
have-
give you $7 for the name of DICE because you have no IPs whatsoever. Right? So DICE owns the IPs, but EA owns DICE. So EA owns the IPs that DICE owns. But if they're going to sell DICE off, they would have to sell it with something. What are they selling with? Star Wars Battlefront, which they don't own because it's Star Wars, right? Which they get the license for. They own Battlefield. So what would they sell?
You pissed that away.
So again, in my thing that I said, if DICE gets sold, what are they selling? What would they sell? They have nothing. Dragon Age, right? Mass Effect is BioWare, right? DICE has Battlefield. What else does DICE have? They don't have anything else.
My question would be is if Battlefield becomes a platform, right? If Battlefield becomes a platform, which studios are running in the circle to keep Battlefield going every year? That's my question.
Wait, say that again.
So if Battlefield 6 goes well and it becomes a platform like they want it to, okay, which studios are now in charge of recycling Battlefield every year? Is it going to be 3 studios? Is it going to be 4 studios? And if it is a yes, which studios will be making Battlefield?
They're selling the talent. The talent's they're just contractors and stuff. You're not selling the talent because that talent can leave 5 seconds after you sell them. You can't sell people. That's not what's part of the company. You have to sell the IPs and brand. DICE is worth nothing if they have no IPs. They would just close the studio. They wouldn't sell them. They just close the studio and keep the IP. They wouldn't sell DICE. They would just keep the IP.
They would just fill out a new. They would fill out a,
yeah, and they would just close it down.
A new resume. They'd be filling out new resumes.
All right. Let's go to, where is it? I can't find it. There it is. Q&A. All right, so let's go with the first question. Sarge, he says, for Sarge, do you have any thoughts on the new Starfinder game?
I don't know what that is.
There you go. So there's that one.
What's the Starfinder game?
That was easy. I don't really know, so I've never played.
I have no thoughts on it yet. I have to look it up.
Okay, next one is, do you think there was an Arc Raiders dev that forced the narrative of the censorship of their game in Battlefield to get more eyes on the game? I said this a little bit earlier today. I said maybe it's they nudged it over there and was like, hey, can you do this as a favor? You know what I mean? Like, can you put this in there? Because it was only there for like a day, and then they fixed it. And then it strawed up this, and then it made this post.
It's all publicity. It's all publicity.
Skid into the meme, you know what I mean? Like, turn into the meme, like Robert Jones said.
It's all publicity.
So, yeah, it's plausible. It's plausible that they said, hey, because remember, the ex-DICE guys, they always wanted to beat COD. And now, because Battlefield 6 is the best opportunity and Arc Raiders is getting pretty good buzz, a 1-2 punch could knock COD off the market, right? Or not for this year anyway, not off the market. Yeah, just for sales and stuff. So it's plausible. Next one is, do you think EA will release the weekend sales numbers on Monday? And what are we predicting the first weekend sales numbers? Well, the prediction from the analysts is they said the first week is 5 million.
5 million.
Right? That's what they said.
Well, they said there's already almost 4 million pre-orders. Isn't that what they said? That's why they're saying 5 million. Because if all the pre-orders
right.
buy the game and you have another million people for the first week, it's possible. That's plausible.
I mean, I said it would sell 8 to 12 million. I could see it doing 4 million, 5 million the first week for sure. I don't know about 5 million this weekend. I don't know.
Some other releases only sold 7 million total. You think you're going to get 5 million in the first week? We'll see.
Yeah, Arlink, man, we were talking about Battlefield. Yeah, we were. We're doing Q&A now.
Pre-order only counts if you actually keep the game.
Right. Well, no, they'll still count it. They'll count the sales because they won't count the returns until after. They'll only just talk about the sales. So if 1 million people bought it and 900,000 people returned it, they'll still tell you they had 1 million sales. Yeah, that's what they do. That's business 101. Never show your hand. Just show the positive, because people go, oh, 1 million sales, it's good. It sold 1 million. That's what they always try to do. That's what Assassin's Creed try to do. That's what EA try to do with Dragon Age Veilguard. Sorry.
Well, I've seen low scores for the campaign on reviews, so we're going to wait to see what the whole review is.
Well, some people are looking at IGN's review and they go, well, they gave it a 5, so it must be good, right? Because everyone hates IGN. So if IGN gives a bad score, they think it's better than it is. And if they give a good score, it's usually lower than what they think. So it's like the barometer of what IGN...
IGN effect?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so are you telling me that IGN didn't give Battlefield a 7?
No, they gave it a 5. Their campaign a 5.
The campaign a 5?
Yeah. That's the only thing they...
Okay.
Yeah, they gave the campaign a 5. Did we answer this? Yeah, the money. Okay. Let me go back up here. Next one says, Eric says, do you think Microsoft would actually let Xbox buy anything new right now, like you mentioned right now? I do.
I don't know if they would, bro.
I do. Because they're always looking, again, I don't know what their plans are. I don't work for Microsoft. But they want value, and they're trying to buy up as many studios and things as possible. Now, yes, they spent $70 billion on Activision Blizzard. They spent $88 billion on AI. So do I see them spending more money? Yeah, I think they can if they want to. It's not like they're $1 trillion. It's like, sure, if they could pick up a studio that's maybe not a multi-billion dollar, studio, and they pick up, I don't know, $100 million studio, $200 million studio, sure, I think they could do it. I don't know who that would be. Maybe they pick up. I'm trying to think of a smaller firm that's doing good right now. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But yeah, I think they could. I think there's always open. Money talks, bullshit walks. So if Microsoft comes up and they're like, yeah, we'll buy you out and we'll put you on Game Pass. They're looking for value. That's my take. What do you think, Sarge?
I don't have thoughts on this one.
Okay. Go on to the next one. Next one. Altered says, how much time will it take to have the server with bots in Battlefield 6 after release? I say maybe 9 months before it starts seeing matches getting filled with... Well, I mean, it already happened. I watched a guy today get a bot-filled lobby when he picked multiplayer.
Talk about day one. We're talking about day one.
I understand that. This is before day one. It's already filled with bots, right? So... I think it happens day one. I think it happens on day one. I think there's going to be people there's going to be such a mass amount of people trying Portal or trying different game modes that you're going to have a little bit of time waiting for certain things and they'll get filled with bots. I don't think people will tell. I don't think we talk about it. I think it'll be less than 9 months though before people start talking about bots.
9 months is way too long. You're going to hear about bots next week. What are you talking about?
You think it's next week we're going to hear about it?
Bro, bots?
Yeah.
The end of the weekend.
Okay.
Server problems and bots. And hitboxes are no good.
Alexander Smith says, what's your favorite dormant game series?
Dormant.
Dormant meaning they haven't touched it in forever?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah. A dormant game series. I actually said this a couple of weeks ago. But what I think they're also making a new one, which is Splinter Cell. I haven't had a Splinter Cell in, 13 years? They just made a series, didn't they, on Netflix for Splinter Cell? Is that Netflix? I think it's Netflix. Yeah, I would say Splinter Cell. I really like that, the sneaking around, sniping. Maybe a Siphon Filter. Siphon Filter as well. I like Siphon Filter.
I don't know about favorite, but ones I like to enjoy playing. Fable is definitely one of them.
Well, Fable's coming out, so there's another
Yeah.
Fable coming,
Yeah.
supposedly.
It's coming out. Yeah, sure it is. And you guys believe all of this shit, right? It's coming out. It's coming out. Don't worry about it. There was one other one.
Yeah, the remake came out. I don't want the remake. I want a new game, a new Splinter Cell game.
Yeah, I think the Battlefront series is really good. That's dormant. It's gonna be dormant. It's probably gonna be in a coma for a while.
Yeah, Splinter Cell. Yeah, I don't want to remaster. You know me, John. I don't want to remaster, man. Cool. Like, there's talks about Red Dead Redemption 2 remastered coming out.
It doesn't need a remaster. It holds.
Well, they're
up the way it is.
updating the they're updating the graphics or whatever for the next gen.
The graphics were amazing. They're still hold up
know,
right now.
But they're talks of it. Right? I don't really care about remasters. Oblivion remaster came out. It's cool, but again, I didn't buy it. I just played it on Game Pass. I don't want remasters of stuff. Okay, next one. We have Altern says, if EA sells DICE, does Frostbite engine goes with them?
No,
the engine, the tech stays with them because they're using it for other games now. If it was just that game series, maybe. But what was it? 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe even longer. 7 years ago, because Anthem used the Frostbite engine, and then they were talking about Dragon Age using the Frostbite engine. They were trying to make every game that they came out with now using the Frostbite engine. So no,
I thought it was
DICE.
I thought it was to make the Unreal Engine. It was Frostbite.
No. It was Frostbite engine. Yeah,
They wanted everyone to be Frostbite.
yeah. EA wanted to switch everything over to Frostbite engine. So DICE would lose the engine, and they would keep the game, in my opinion, because that's what they would sell. They would give them, if Battlefield fails, they would have DICE sold off and sell it with Battlefield, but they would keep the Frostbite engine. And then DICE would either have to, whoever takes DICE over would either have to pay EA to use the DICE engine, or they would move over to the Unreal Engine, right? That's what I think would happen. Next is Alexander says, when do you think we see the first majority AI created video game? I think
probably working on it right now.
This time next year. I think this time next year we get a full-fledged AI game, not AAA. We'll go indie. We'll do indie title. Indie title, full-on AI, created full-up AI. It'll be a short game, but it'll be a game, a full-fledged game. This time next year. So October. What do you think, Sarge?
I mean, basic game, all AI made, probably earlier than that. Maybe springtime.
Let's watch it comes out next week.
A full-fledged game, though? Like, what kind of game are we talking about? Like,
I don't think we see a AAA game for a really long time. Really long time, meaning a couple of years.
Like a complete. He said partial. He didn't say fully. So I think partially next year sometime is probably about right. I think springtime for a basic game.
You're saying spring, yeah. So I'll say a year from now.
They're trying to push the envelope. Listen, they're trying to push the envelope right now to see what it can do.
I mean, look at movies. People said it would take years, and it's taken months. Full blown commercials, full blown feature film being made.
I can't wait to see what NAFTA thinks. No, not NAFTA. What's NASTRA? What's the acting thing called? The union thing for the actors. Astra? What is it called?
AFTRA.
AFTRA. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. I can't wait to see what.
Or SAG. It all depends.
Either one.
One's for Broadway. One's for.
Yeah. What happens when you want to use all AI actors? I can't wait to see what the argument's going to be on that one.
I mean, who are you paying then? Are you just paying the guy who created, which he didn't create? Like he just put a line of text in, and then the AI did it. Who are you paying?
The person that created the AI actress, I think, is the one who gets paid. I'm pretty sure.
But he didn't create the AI actress. He just typed in a line of code, not even code. Hot brunette that looks like girl next door. Boom. And they're like, there you go. Pay me. I came up with that. Like, what are you talking about?
He'll get his 1%. He'll get his 1%.
I guess. Or someone can go make the same as that because AI owned it, because AI made it.
Except she's got red hair now.
Yeah, she's a redhead now.
It's going to be when actors are going to cry when they don't need them anymore because you can program an actor to be better than the actor already. It's going to be sick, dude. It's going to be problems.
Also, it says, when will you hold on playing Helldivers 2? Will you wait for 60-day bug fix? No, I've been playing Helldivers 2 just off stream. I've been playing it every day. I go in, I'll do like one mission, I'll farm some super credits, I'll go in with my friend that's playing on like level 4 or 5, I'll go in. But level 6, for some reason, it was like I hit a wall, and I was just like, it's not worth the time, right? Like, Destiny guys are complaining, why am I going to go up to 300 if it's just going to reset me? Why am I going to run around where I want to do a quick match and I have to fight tooth and nail just to get 10 common samples and 2 rares and maybe the super rares out, when I could just go one level lower and get all of that stuff and get super credits and just get my stuff and log out, right? Like the push is too... And again, I'm okay with the difficulty. I'm not okay with the bullshit that just guys just appear in front of you. Like, you could just stand there and look, and they go, and they just appear in you. It's like, was it Star Trek? Are they teleporting? Like, what's happening? So, no, I'm playing it right now. So I don't need to wait for the 60-day. 60 days, I might not even play it anymore in 60 days. Alexander says, if Arc Raiders, is Arc Raiders day one, and have you been giving your thoughts on being $40? No, it's not day one for me, but I will be trying the early access or the beta on the 17th to the 19th, which is next weekend. So I'll try that. I've never played the game. I think $40 price tag, I think, is fine for the extractions because the other extractions are charging $40. So I think like $40 or $50. So I think it's in the ballpark of what they're doing. That would have been a day one buy for me if it was PvE, but it's no longer PvE. It's a PvP/PvPvE. So it's not a day one. I got to see how it is. I'm going to play it. If I like it, maybe I pick it up, but definitely not day one. I don't really want to pick up games day one anymore because broke, buggy, and unfinished. Krebsy says, did you hear that the Halo news? This is supposed to be the redemption arc of the studio, but they are also already having staff leave saying that their leadership issues. Well, there you go.
No shit. No shit. Halo Studios has got leadership issues? No. Not Halo Studios.
So 343 is 343 still around, or did they make 343 into Halo Studios, or is 343 and then Halo Studios? They just moved people from 343 and said, "Hey, you want to work on Halo?"
And they went, no. And they're like, great, get in the room.
Like, who wants to work on Halo? I do. And they're like, I can't work with this guy. He wants something completely different than me. I'm leaving.
He wants to put a story in with actual gunplay and stuff that makes sense. I can't do this.
Did they just change the name, Altern? So 343 doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
Transition to Halo Studios.
It's
Okay.
been poisoned, right?
It's the same, though.
Right. Well, but go with me on this one. You changed the name of the studio that didn't want to work on Halo anymore. You changed their name into Halo Studios and made them work on Halo.
Look, Michael Jackson was black. Then he made himself white. He's still Michael Jackson, right? He didn't change. He's the same person. He just changed skin color. It's the same. 343 is Halo Studios. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel, right? 343 is Halo. Halo is 343.
Yeah, Michael Jackson went white, but I heard his credit score never changed.
Next one is, Crazy says, with ESO Dev started their own studio, do you think the studio could have Elder Scrolls 6 competitor release within 1 to 2 years of Elder Scrolls 6?
Everyone has to stop making MMOs. It's not going to help you.
Well, no, he's not saying MMO. He's saying Elder Scrolls 6, a competitor for Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6 is not an MMO. You're thinking of Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, do they make a competitor for it? Perhaps.
A competitor? I don't even think ESO I don't think Elder Scrolls 6 has any competition at all. Right? Because I don't think Elder Scrolls 6 is in competition with anyone. I'll be honest with you. I have done reading on what's going on with the development and on who they have to write the story and what's supposed to happen, and they want to make Elder Scrolls 6 into a 76. They want to. That's what's coming.
Here's what I think. What's that new game coming out? What's that new game coming out that Travis is excited for? The Expanse. The Expanse that looks like Mass Effect, right? That's what I think that this studio could do, but instead of making the Mass Effect game like Mass Effect, but not Mass Effect, they can make the Elder Scrolls game. But to compete be hard because it would be a brand new IP and it has to prove itself before it could say it's competing with a brand like that.
If Microsoft put a couple MMOs on to Game Pass and told you if you got the $30 Ultimate,
100%. I said that years ago.
You said that would be a better deal.
If you put like New World on there, you put World of Warcraft on there, you have Elder Scrolls 6 on there. So it's got like 6 MMOs on Game Pass. You could play them all. Obviously, you don't have time for it, but
right, it doesn't matter. You don't have time for it,
right?
But they're there.
They're there. Value. It's got value.
I haven't seen my kids value.
Because he says, would you play Assassin's Creed games set during the time period of Red Dead Redemption 2? There was that Civil War. We were going to talk about it, and I'll talk about it real quick here. I said to Sarge at the beginning, I go, people were mad because they put, I can't say his name, Yasuke. They put him there, and they're like, why don't you just tell a story of that time period without putting him in the game, right? Just tell a story of the Japanese in that time period.
Because it wasn't diverse enough.
Right. So in the article that he's stating, there was supposed to be a black protagonist of the Assassin's Creed character during the Civil War time, and he was fighting the Ku Klux Klan, right?
Oh, they can't do that, bro.
But it would be accurate, right?
It would be accurate. That's historically accurate. They couldn't do that.
I think people would have less of a problem with that than they did with what they did for Shadows. Right? Because it's just in that time period would be fine. I don't know.
I mean, wouldn't it? Well, I think it would be. I mean, I think that would be better than the last couple of games of Assassin's Creed. I got to be honest.
Right. Yeah, I think that would be fine during that time period. I think that would actually be pretty interesting, but whatever.
You wouldn't have to worry about getting shot. Everyone's got musket balls.
Krabby says, do you see 60 frames per second Red Dead Redemption 2 before the end of the year? I think next week they announce it.
You think
I do.
Week they're going to announce it?
Yeah, because isn't the anniversary, before I say officially, when did Red Dead come out? Or Red Dead Redemption 2, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 release date.
You're talking about 60 on console, right?
Release date was October 26th. Yeah. So maybe not next week. They could announce it next week. but they might announce it. What day? Hold on. Let me look at the calendar. When's the 26th? 26th is a Sunday. We're on the 9th. Within the next 2 weeks, they announce it. I think they announce it. I think they do say the 60 frames per second, Red Dead Redemption 2 before the end of the year. I think it's this week. It's either this Tuesday or the following Tuesday, so which is the 14th or the 21st. So I'll give myself either on the 14th through the 21st. That's my pick. So between the 14th and 21st, within that week, they will announce Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that's because it's the anniversary, right? I mean, obviously it's not the 10-year anniversary or anything, but it's still an anniversary. It's close to it. I think they do it. All right. Do you think they announce it, Sarge?
I mean, I don't think they need to make an announcement of it. I think it should be a gift. I think you should just get a download. Hey, guess what? 60 frames, about time, gift.
All right. I think that is going to do it for us here on GXG. Hold on. I got to take that down. Yeah, Shadow Drop. They shadow drop it. I think they just make a tweet. Hey, Red Dead Redemption 2, anniversary, October 26th. So maybe it comes out the 28th. They announced it a week before. Who knows? That is going to do it for episode 300 and what are we? 300. Jesus Christ. 460 is in the can. I do appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out with us each and every single week here on Generation X Gaming. If you're watching over on Twitch, thank you very much. Hit that follow button. If you're watching over here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do a show in the mornings, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern called The Daily Grind, where we have an interactive live chat. So if you want to come in, we just take the daily stories, read them for the first time on stream, and then give you my thoughts and opinions. And then you get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat. It's a good time, gets you past 2 hours of your day. So if you're at work, at home, whatever, you can also listen to it as a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor.fm. You can also, if you'd like to help us out, if you don't want to hit the like button, you don't want to hit the subscribe button, you don't want to become a member, you don't want to do it, you just like watching the stuff.
What are you doing here?
Right. Well, you like
you don't
us.
want to you don't want to press anything,
right? So if you don't like any of that, to do any of that, we do have an album that we have. Okay, the album is called Perk Up and Press Play. You can hit the Spotify button up there. Okay, we have singles. I have I think it's like 30 songs now that we've created. They're fun. I think they're good. Of course, I think they're good. They're mine.
They've gotten better.
They've gotten better. Yeah. So if you like it, go check it out on Spotify. You can go check it out on Apple Music. You can go check it out on iTunes Music. You can go check it out on YouTube Music. Across the board. So you can just listen to it. You can download it. You can buy it if you want. So I appreciate it very much. I appreciate all the support. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candy.